So is the higher cost just because of the city we're in, or is that going to be like a setting wide thing?
It's a setting wide thing. Uh, I don't think I've done
Okay.
a very good job of explaining the setting that you guys are in, so I'm going to take a little bit of time to do that before the session today.
I mean, fifth edition is already assuming a low magic setting, so
So I have the before the game started, like between zero session and first session, I did a lot of work figuring out how the world progressed and where you guys are in that. And in this particular uh, adventure that we're going through, you guys are actually. I think I'm gonna wait for Jmart before I before I continue explaining because I don't want to have to go through it twice. Well, wait. How was everyone's week? It happens. 'Tis the time of year.
Hello.
Hello. All right. Now I can start whipping through the stuff. We have a little bit more than usual for pre-session stuff. Uh, just to as the very at the very beginning, um, so long as you guys are cool with the audio thing that I thought I'd try out, uh, is everyone interested in that or at least indifferent? Like,
yeah, it's fine.
I'm a
I'm
lot
indifferent.
indifferent.
all right, well then it seems JMR specific. Are you willing to throw together a 30-second intro for Fulgrim?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I'm gonna have everyone think of what they want to say for their intro while I go through the pre-session stuff, and then we'll just have you all say it after the list is done. So, first of all, I'm gonna go over the setting. As I was just kind of saying, I don't think I've done a very good job of explaining where you guys are in the setting, as far as magic and world age goes. I've been trying to allude with it, but I just don't think I've been doing a very good job. So I'm gonna explicitly say the timeline has two different scales, right? It has like prehistory, early age, middle ages, age of advancement, like a golden era, and then a major fallout. On the other side of the scale, it has the pre-magic, the low magic, regular magic, high magic, and then post-magic ages. So right now, you guys are in a setting of the Middle Ages as far as technology is concerned, and you're right past the low magic age. So the College of Magic is a thing, and wizards are more commonplace. Um, in the low magic age, the first magic items were coming about, and in the regular magic age, um, magic is a thing. Like everyone understands what magic is. It's not like most of the time it isn't the devil's work. It's just arcane. Um, and everything that's like cantrip first and second level is pretty regular. You could find that stuff in a a large library or at a school specifically for magicians. As once you get to like third level and above, you are now on the frontier of high level magic for the world itself. Like there are a lot of people that you can read about who are high level magicians, but everything they did is absolutely out of this world so far as everyone concerned. Like, um, if someone were to have seen uh, the Necrodancer raise a Dracolich just with like a wave of green energy, they'd freak the hell out because it's something that has never even been heard of before. So that's why when I was talking to you about the additional cost of spell stuff, it's because you're now at the point where you're going to be one of the elite of the magicians in the world. You're not quite, you don't have the renown yet, and you're not at the elite, but you're very, very close. Uh, is that clear? Do I need to explain anything more?
Okay, so magic is, say, as common as air travel in the modern world.
Yeah, yeah, you could say that.
So people are familiar with its existence and they may know but somebody involved, but the majority of people don't deal with it very often at all.
Yeah.
Okay, that works. And third level is about the highest level you would consider common. All right.
hmm Like that's probably third level spells are probably the last ones you're going to be able to find in major libraries that aren't specifically like a College of Magic library.
Okay.
So last week I tried something new. I asked you guys um, to contribute to the world. Like I asked Chris, like, what is this guy's name that you used to know? Fulgrim, I asked you, what's that trinket that your character really wants? How do you guys react to that? Would you rather have me just say there are these five trinkets, or did you like being able to contribute?
I think it's good. The one thing I would mention, even though he's not here, specifically when you were asking Belcax about the guy he knew, I don't think it was quite clear that he was supposed to come up with a name for him. So he was just kind of like, I have no idea who the fuck you are.
hmm
Um, which, like I said, I think that's just a matter of expectations not being set. But I do like the idea of being able to contribute to the world, particularly because I know how difficult it can be just to try and arrange everything beforehand.
All right.
That's more of a metagame issue with that. When you want us to just improv something, just need to somehow indicate that.
Yeah, I can do a better job of indicating when I want you guys to improv who is that person,
Right.
etc.
Well, did you remember this thing that happened 6 sessions ago? A little bit. We're like,
Pull up Obsidian Portal, look at Succession and
Yeah.
go, see that nothing's there. Go, no, we don't remember.
What the hell's going on? And speaking of which, here's my notes for this session, this game.
Okay, so as far as races go, I did deeper world building. In the very beginning, I did very large scale world building to figure out where you're at. As I went in, I decided that half elves and half orcs didn't really make sense in the setting that you're in. So you haven't run into any half orcs, so that's not really a problem. As far as half elves go, they're just going to now be elves, and none of you guys are half elves, so it doesn't really change your characters at all.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right, they're just of the whatever type of elf as opposed to higher. They'll need a new name.
yeah, they are. There's like, I guess you call it three brands there, like the nobility of elf, which I would consider high elf. There's the woodland elf, who are very outlandish, and then there's just regular society goers who happen to be elves.
Okay. And then there's dark elves, but
You don't deal much with Dro, but yeah, there's Dro as well.
they exist, but they're like goblins or hobgoblins.
Yeah.
You assume they're the enemy. Okay.
So I've been dabbling with pre-recordings and background music over the past couple sessions, and I want to implement pre-recordings more so, just so when I want to give a good setting or a quick cutscene, I don't have to stumble through, because I know I do. I want you guys to just have like a very, very well done run through of what you're viewing. Now, as far as music goes, I know not everyone likes the music just as a personal preference that going in the background of the game. Would you rather me just like not do background music at all and you can always have your volume up for when the cutscenes do happen, or do you just want to prompt and have the background going anyway?
Can you use the jukebox in Roll20 for it?
Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Okay, I think we can actually.
Right. What he's asking
down.
is, would you rather him just not play background music generally, so you can just leave your volume up on Roll20, or have background music, you can mute it if you want, and then he prompts when he's doing a cutscene, so you can turn it back up.
Exactly.
I like it as an idea. Otherwise, I'm just going to be listening to something completely unrelated.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine either way, personally.
Because it is easy enough for us to drop the volume if it's distracting from something else.
David?
I'm fine with background music.
Flint? Okay. So the weekly prompts. I was thinking about how to go forward with them. It's good for me as the DM. I'm not sure how it is for you guys as the players, just because I'm not on that side of the screen. But I was contemplating, instead of the weekly prompts that have nothing to do or have no relevance to the game, it's just to flesh out your character a little more. Would you rather instead have the worldly events that sometimes happen pre-session, like the conversation between the Shadow Man and his 4 captains, or the fight between the Rathalos Rathias, the guards, and the Necromancer Grand Magnus? Like those cutscene type deals, would you rather have those in between so you know that they're worldly events that are actually going on, instead of prompts that don't have any repercussions in game?
I will say I would prefer to get the cutscenes in text form, simply because it's kind of hard to keep track of who's saying what when they're all your voice and you're doing the voices and the accents, but still. Just for me, it's difficult to keep track of. As for the prompt, if you want to keep doing that on top of that, when I find time, I'll do it. But for the mid-session stuff, I think getting it in text form would be a little clearer.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Do the weekly prompts help you guys flesh out your characters, or are they already fleshed out enough where it doesn't really assist in finding their deeper motives, I guess, values, morals, etc.?
Just personally, I think I'd flesh my character out more just playing on Monday nights than I would through prompts, but that's just me.
Mm-hmm. David?
I've got a pretty good picture in my head already of what I want Icus to be, so.
Flint?
I mean, I'm fine with writing for them if you want something, but I'm good.
Okay. Flint? J-Mart leaning either way?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, well that's easy enough. I can throw prompts your ways and have them be not so narrative focused, I guess. I was trying to throw situations at you where there wasn't really a right or wrong answer, just you guys go do whatever it is you would do, but we can make them more simplified, kind of like the first one was, where I didn't do a good job explaining what the fuck it was, and you're all like, why are we in a dream sequence again?
Sounds about
The
right.
weirdest dreams.
Yes.
Everybody's always dying in the.
Like I
Well,
said,
yeah, like you said, they were dreams. Don't your dreams include lots of people dying?
Sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes.
it's a happy day. It's a happy day. Okay, so I think that's all I need to go through for now. Let's go ahead and run through your quick intros to your character. If anyone has one, they can start. Or has one already prepared while the others continue to think of theirs. You're really good. So like you could do that outside of game. Um, I just thought it'd be easier so you didn't have to send me a file. If you want to do it now, you can do it now. If you want to do it separately, you can do that too.
I would say either do it separately or at the beginning of next session, so we get some time to
Yeah.
come up with something.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds great. Okay, now we can actually get to our game. Ikus, why don't you go ahead and tell us what happened last time?
Alrighty. So, last time we got into Horsham, finally. Belcax was very hangry when we got in, so he sassed his way up to talk to the Emir. The Emir gave us a quest to go find the Mothwa in Orsham and deal with them. They're running around wearing purple coats, I think.
Yes.
Meanwhile, he kept Fulgrim and me and Cortanus went along with him to do some freaky tests regarding Fulgrim's Warlock Pact. And then we ended off with us going around trying to find out more information about the Mothwa, and Ikus adopted Onsiso, little boy.
That fairly well sums it up. Okay, so where we left off, you had just agreed to meet the young lad tomorrow at the slave auction in the lower district. I believe you are all going back to the inn in the wealthy portion, or wealthy section of the city. Was there anything you wanted to do before you cotted down, or should we fast forward to morning?
Left off. A lot of them were in the library. Yeah. I was
Right.
invited to go along with them.
You were looking up the history of Laplacia, right? So, the Kingdom of Laplacia, founded in 1982 post-history by Jaime Tiberault, the Triumphant. He is a mousefolk. The Tiberault family reigned and expanded their domain until 2702, when it eventually fell to the 12 knighthoods during the War of Four Emperors. The most successful campaign to expand Laplacia's reach was led by Westlin the renowned Tiberault. The 12 knighthoods ruled Laplacia akin to city-states, with the leaders of each house coming together occasionally to determine a major course of action. This too fell apart in the year 2882 when House U openly attacked House Rosen. The resulting turmoil eventually led to the downfall of Laplacia as a whole. Enter you, 300 or 400 some years later. After that particular time, it was no longer Laplacia. The kingdom itself was founded by the Tiberolts. They went through roughly 15 generations of Tiberolt monarchy. The War of Four Emperors broke out. The way the war ended, it was now ruled by. It was essentially split rule of 12 different knighthood domains that all ruled under the common name of Laplacia. One of the houses openly declared war, leading to open war between all of them. The resulting turmoil and essentially famine destroyed Laplacia as a whole until it was no longer a nation a nation or empire in and of itself, which led way to Deneria rising in its stead. As far as the House Rosen goes, no one in particular aside from the founder of Krennis. It's a sad life when your old kingdom falls apart. Yep, definitely weird. Definitely weird. So is there anything else that you guys wanted to do during that day? In the library, in the streets, near the water fountain?
No.
Nope. Go back and sleep.
So you go back to the inn, y'all hit up your respective beds, and morning comes. It is the day of the slave auction. During the night, Dolivar, did you ward anyone's room aside from your own?
Assuming we're staying in the same hotel, then yeah, I would have warded everybody's doors.
Okay.
Or alarmed them, rather.
Yeah. Audible, mental.
Mental.
Okay. So about halfway through the night, you get a mental alarm from one of the wards or alarms.
Wouldn't I know specifically which one?
I'm not particularly sure. If you can discern the three, like if you set different tones in your head, then you would know it's coming from Icus and Fulgrim's room.
All right. I will slowly and quietly get out of my room and start heading in that direction.
As you open the door, you see two city guards standing outside of Fulgrim's room. The door is slightly ajar. You may think that someone has already gone in. The door unfortunately creaks a little bit, just due to the nature of it being an old establishment, and one of the guards looks over at you. If you want to, you're able to duck your head back inside, but probably not close the door in time. Or you can step out and be like, "Oh God, morning already."
Yeah, I'll step outside and try to make it look like I'm sleepwalking.
Okay, go ahead and make a deception check.
All
I can
right.
randomly stumble into some furniture. Oops, knocked the dresser down.
This is gonna be bad.
You're a sorcerer, right? No, you're a wizard.
Mm-hmm.
Are you?
So you walk out and you're like, sleeping, walking, not awake. And one of the guards is like, ugh, these people again. The other one's like, I swear, you'd think gullible wasn't in the dictionary. He's obviously awake.
I'll open one of my eyes and stare at the guard who noticed I was awake. So, busy night.
Always is. What can we help you with?
No. What can I help you with? I see you're standing outside of a very nice doorway here. Seems to be made of, some solid oak. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice.
It's late. It's official business. Move on.
Well, all right. I'll start heading back to my room, and while I do so, I'm going to cast Minor Illusion to create a sound of a alarm bell. Quiet, like not loud enough for the guards to hear it, but right next to where Icus's ears should be. If he's, laying down, sleeping in bed, like I would expect him to be.
Okay. So, rewind a couple minutes. Fulgrim, you are woken up by someone quietly shaking your shoulder. He puts a hand over your mouth and motions to be quiet. He whispers in your ear, "You have been summoned by the Emir. He requests your presence immediately."
Do I recognize this guy?
Not immediately. He wears the crest of the city on his blazer, but you don't know his face.
I'll nod. I'll very slowly get out of bed. Is Icus asleep?
Right as you begin to get out of bed and look over at him, you hear the faint chimes of some sort of bells. Icus, this is very loud to you, and probably enough to wake you up unless you are in a drunken stupor.
I would not be in a drunken stupor tonight.
Well, it wakes up
I
even more
bolt
suddenly
upright.
than I did.
And
So
start
you-
looking around.
You wake up to the scene at hand. Fulgrim seems to be leaving with this.
Well, I'm standing up and I'm looking at Icus before I go anywhere. Then at that point, I'll be like, all right, let me get my stuff together and be all presentable. At which point I proceed to put back on my armor, pick up my axes, dilly-dally.
I
Got to try and figure out what's up with this dude.
The fuck is this? Who are you? Why are you in our room?
I'm sorry to have woken you. The Emir requests Master Fulgrim's presence.
Not without me.
He did mention that he'd like this to be a one-on-one encounter.
Did I stutter or something?
No, do you regularly have a speech impediment?
No. If he's going to see the Emir, I'm going with him.
Okay.
God.
He kind of looks at you and then motions for the guards to come in. Right about the time that Venric has gone back into his room, the guards come into yours. He goes, "What should we do about this? He's insisting on coming." The more intelligent of the two looking guards kind of looks you over. Let him come, but he waits outside for the meeting.
No.
I'm letting you off easy here. You come, you wait outside with the rest of us for the meeting, or you don't come at all.
I'll say something in Dwarfish to them. I'll ask them, actually, in Dwarfish. Do you speak Dwarvish? Yeah. Sprechen Sie Dwarvish?
Oh boy.
They both the guards look at you, and the duller of the two. I don't talk your short people talk. Use common.
Does the other one look like he understands me?
No, he looks just as confused, though not as blunt and rude.
Okay.
And the guy in the blazer, same way. Doesn't know
Uh,
what's going on.
You can make an insight check if you want for him.
Can do.
I really can't because I'm facing the other way, preparing to do terrible things to them.
Yeah, as a envoy slash escort, he probably understands a multitude of languages, and he doesn't look confused. I mean, that's not assurance that he understood, but at the same time, it's a pretty good bet.
Damn. Why does Dwarven have to be so common?
This is just a noble language.
This is true. Excellent point. I'll turn to Fulgrim and say, do you want me to come with you?
I do. That would be. I would very much
Dwarf.
appreciate that. Yeah.
In that case, I'm going with him into the chamber.
The escort kind of looks at you, and in a awkwardly noble sounding dwarvish, it's very foreign to your ears for someone who's used to natural dwarvish. He just kind of says, "It would be best if you didn't cause trouble at the tower. I can assure you that your friend will be just fine, and you can accompany us there. But when we get there, please
If
don't cause
Wilson-
trouble with the Emir."
I will reply back to him in proper Dwarvish. If there is no trouble at the tower, then I will make no trouble. But I will be there when he sees him.
I'll let you talk to the Emir about this. And he kind of starts to usher both of you out the door.
I'm gonna grab my sword and shield at least. I don't have time to suit up, do I?
No, probably not.
Okay, I'll grab my weapons then and go out the door with them.
Weapons back away. All right, fine.
No
We're
killing
not
them.
even trying to be quiet, so.
Oh, you're not trying to be quiet?
Well, now that Icus is up, I probably would stop caring.
Oh yeah, Icus is gonna be stomping around the floor. He's not sneaky.
Two heavily armored dwarves.
You probably don't have to, as the highest perception in the group, and being a naturally light sleeper as a personal guard, you could probably hear the ruckus going on in Fulgrim and Icus's room.
As they come out of their room, I'm gonna step back out of my room again and mention in Dwarvish. So, where are we going?
Drinking, come on.
These fine gentlemen wanted us to go out in our small clothes. Take us out on the town, you know? I mean, Icus is still probably in his pajamas, or whatever the equivalent is, small clothes. So,
You see Icus in a very grand eggshell cream nightgown.
wearing my sword belt and shield.
It's official business. What do you need to know? They've been requested for special counsel, or I should say, one of them has been requested for special counsel. They'll be back before the sun rises. You probably wouldn't have woken him up. That might have been slightly rude.
A little bit. I'll look at Fulgrim and just like raise my eyebrows at him a bit.
And to Belkex's eyebrows. Well, I just have the scale now, so it's basically throwing on a hauberk and tightening it up.
Okay.
Which, it is only a problem if you're trying to do it quietly, because it's made of tiny little metal plates that bang against each other.
Yeah.
So many symbols. I was gonna say, as to Belkax's eyebrow, I'm gonna give basically a shrug. Yeah. Oh, right, no,
Yeah,
sorry.
that's me who's waggling eyebrows at you. Or I was also waggling eyebrows at him. I don't know if you were.
Cortanas gave you the eyebrows, and you gave Fulgrim the eyebrows.
We gotta change.
I give a shrug. A shrug. I gesture to the two guards. I don't know. Apparently, this can't wait.
Stay here. Sleep. Make sure nothing happens with Venric and Belcax, probably. If we're not back by
Oh, I was
sunrise.
planning on going with you guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like I said, I
guess-
came back out and spoke to you in Dwarvish. So I don't actually know that the other guy speaks Dwarvish yet.
Yeah. Okay. Stay here and make sure nothing happens to Belcax then for Cortanas. And then if we're not back by sunrise, you know where we'll be. Come hunting for us.
There's no need for that, you paranoid ninnies. Come on.
Clearly, you two aren't paranoid enough. I'll just shake my head and start walking.
It's not paranoia if they really are out to get you.
They're literally.
You literally find us in the middle of the night.
You're let outside. The night is maybe half through. The streets are all but deserted, aside from you all. Getting through the checkpoint is as easy as the emissary waving his hand. You don't even have to talk to the guards at all. They just know who he is and to let him through. You eventually get up to the Emir's suite where you were earlier that day, and Elia calls to Fulgrim to come in.
I'll walk right in with him.
The mood in the room is somewhat macabre. Thank you. It's somewhat macabre. There are braziers going.
Braziers.
Is that really how you pronounce that?
Brazier.
Man, I've always read the word and just assumed it was brazier.
Brazier is a bra.
Oh.
A brazier of fire elemental summoning and a
Slightly
brazier
different.
of fire elemental summoning are very different magic items. Both legit, but very different. It's right up there with the Rogue Rouge misspelling.
Yes. Well, thank you for the correction,
Brazier.
Brazier. There
Go.
are braziers alit in all corners of the room. There seems to be a large dish set before the head chair of the throne, You see a couple utensils lining each side of the dish, along with some hard black chalk spread throughout the room. And as Ikis walks in with him, he kind of motions to the guards that are right in front of the door and goes, "This is a private meeting." And they go to escort you out.
Private meeting with who? Looking at the circle.
A private meeting with you, Sir Fulgrim.
Then I assure you, you will not need a warding circle.
Oh, that is actually for you a little later on. I'm interested in a little bit of your intellectual knowledge. I hope that you can teach me something.
There is no meeting here unless I'm here.
I can assure you there's a meeting here, and it is private.
Fulgrim, will you stay if I leave?
Don't directly answer that. I just cast a spell at the circle.
So you cast a spell at the circle of detect magic, and you don't sense anything magical about the circle. It doesn't look complete yet, so far
Right.
as magic is inclined. But as you do, your eyes do the black smoky Nido thing, and the belt starts to go wild. It opens up from its slumber and starts to peer around. You get a tingling sensation in the back of your spine as it crawls upward towards towards the base of your skull. The Emir Elias 7 here looks very ecstatic at your use of magic. Yeah. Yes, perfect. Exactly what I was looking for. Now, friend Ikis, am I correct? Ikis Buheim, if it were. Please excuse us. And he motions for the guards to more or less escort you out.
I brush them off again and say, "You are not excused, sir. This is my friend. I'm not leaving him here with you."
And if he leaves, I leave. Though it seems like I'll be leaving anyway.
Well, we can't have that. Fine. Buheim, Fulgrim, please come in. Have a seat. He
Thank you,
motions.
sir.
He motions to the floor space in front of the offering plate.
Is the plate carved or decorated in any way?
It's very fine. It looks to be made of silver, but it's flat, plain, smooth, however you want to say, not ornamented.
Okay. I'm not actually going to sit, though.
Okay.
I'm too jumpy.
I will also continue to stand. I will point out my current dress state as reason for it. Unfortunately, sir, my nightgown doesn't lend itself very flatteringly to sitting. I prefer to stand.
And we thank you for your consciousness of attire. He motions to the guards and they close the door. You hear a loud thunk on the outside of it.
Of course.
Venric, did you follow along like right beside them, or are you more following at a distance?
I would have followed along beside them, but I wouldn't have gone inside with them. But after they go inside and shut the doors and everything, I guess I'll ask like one of the guards if there's like a sitting room I can go in.
He motions to a chair that's right behind you in front of the doors.
Okay, how many guards are there out here?
You know there are the two that are at the door itself. You saw 4 coming up the stairs this way on the level right below this. And from your best guess, there are at least 3 more doing regular patrol routes throughout the tower.
Okay. After a couple of minutes, I'll mention to one of them that I'd like to get a breath of fresh air if they could lead me towards like a balcony or something.
They look at one another, kind of like, ugh, tourists. They lead you over to a small window that opens up onto a little like 2-foot balcony. They stand by to make sure that you don't do anything stupid.
Right.
But the other goes back to guard the door still.
So there's just one with me right now?
Yeah.
All right. I am going to cast Suggestion on him,
Okay.
which is going to be a DC 15. I think, yeah, 15 Wisdom save.
He makes it.
And I'm going to suggest that he lead me to like a servant's entrance to the room that Falgrim and Icus just went in, so I can keep an eye on things.
Okay. So he begins to lead you that way. And in the meantime, we go back to Fulgrim and Icus. As you stand in front of the offering plate, Elia stands up and he kind of looks hungry. Not for food, but for knowledge and experience. And he approaches you, staying on the other side of the plate. I would very much like to know how you went about acquiring your power, Fulgrim.
I'll respond in Abyssal, and the intention of it is to ask him how much do you know about working with fiends, though it probably comes out literally as something closer to what minds have you eaten from the darker places or something like that. So it's like extra creepy.
Icus, for your divine sense, the room itself feels off in general, but you get an awkward feeling from Fulgrim's belt. It is more alive than usual, and in the past that hasn't spelled great things.
Yeah. So the room's like sorta unhallowed?
It's not
Okay.
sort of unhallowed. Not in a divine sense does it feel creepy, but like I walked in and I felt creepy. I then used divine sense and something's fucked up about his belt.
Okay. Fair enough.
But the whole room's like very amateurishly unhollowed.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So you speak Abyssal to him, and he kind of looks a little perplexed at you, and then smiles gleefully and responds, I don't speak that tongue. What did you say, pray?
I would give him a look, but he probably can't see it from behind the tech magic still going on. I'm merely trying to assess what you do and do not know. Already.
I know some and look to learn more. Pray tell, how did you summon your lord? In fact, who is that with which you have made a pact?
I frantically start waving my hand at Icus. Or I guess at Fulgrim.
Sorry, say again?
I frantically start like waving my hand a little bit at you, like no. Don't go there. Bad things.
I have to give him I'll respond in Dwarven. I have to give him an answer.
I will respond in Dwarven. Fair. Don't give him too much though. Something's weird about your belt. Is it?
I noticed that too. All right, and I'll turn back to the Emir and address him in common. The first question is, how did I summon him?
Indeed, how?
I honestly don't recall the details.
And pray tell, who is he?
A liar and a traitor. And someone I would not recommend anyone do business with.
You don't say. Well, if you're going to warn me not to do business with them, you might as well give me a name, so that I may know who to avoid.
I'll respond in Abyssal. If you don't speak this language, then what use is the name to you? And then I'll respond in Common. The title he has given me, which may or may not be his name, and most likely is not, was Calfe.
A devilish grin curls on his lip. He tries to reproduce what you said in Abyssal, assuming it's part of his name, and then calls
Can't get
out.
all the weird phonics right.
Yeah, it's very amateurishly done. And then he calls out, "Calfe," you say. And I bring him here simply by calling his name. I would very much like to address him. At
I
which
don't
point,
think you understand how it works. That's what I'll say.
Very bad idea.
at this
You
point, your
don't
belt
bring
starts to
him
go.
here.
Sorry.
That's what I was going to say to the Emir. I don't think you understand how it works. You don't bring him here. You're not in control.
Your belt starts to go frantic. You almost feel it vibrating against your skin. The voice that you know of Calfe creeps in. Request my presence. Oblige him.
To myself. Ah, shit. Hold on a second. Now, back to the Emirs. You will never be in control when dealing with them. I should say.
You will
That's
address
the-
me properly.
That's what you're not getting about this. That's what you're not getting about my warning, your lordship. You think I merely received power, but that's not what happened. You don't know the cost.
It's true, I don't know the cost, personally. Though I've seen it, and I've also seen your demonstration of power. Your lord must be very, very powerful indeed.
Indeed, which is why he has large prices. Would you be willing to give up Orshem?
For the right price, possibly.
Then you are a fool, truly, sir.
I'll kind of wave my hand at him. My wizard friend has greater power than I. And he gave up very little.
The investment to reward ratio is skewed in your favor as far as timetables are concerned. Now, if you wouldn't mind, do whatever it is you need to do to bring forth this Calfe.
As I said, it's not my choice to make. It's his. If he wishes to speak with you, he will come to him. He will come to you via his own power. And I will advise you not to take the deal. Your lordship.
So, as far as your personal pact goes, you're aware of the fact that when you call out for his assistance, he is inclined to answer you. Whether the answer be one way or the other isn't determined, but he's inclined to answer. You can choose to summon him, request his presence, rather, at any time.
My understanding is, at least for the initial pact, the initial contact, was basically he came to me.
Yes.
Like more or less out of nowhere. Now now we already have that connection, and it's permanent. So yeah, I could totally summon him to this room right now, and I understand that. I don't want to do that, so I'm also kind of lying to the Slamir right now.
Oh, okay. I wanted to make sure we were good on an out of character basis.
Yeah, on the out of character, it's like I'm lying by omission.
Gotcha.
So it's not like a huge lie, but I'm not being entirely honest and forthright with him because I know Fulgrim knows in his heart of hearts this idiot would take the deal anyway. And I really do not want to give Calfei another well-resourced servant on the material plane.
Gotcha.
At this point, am I privy to this conversation?
You come in right as Fulgrim starts explaining that it costs a lot. So the servants' quarters, if you remember from last session, you were in the puzzle room.
Right.
What you didn't see in the puzzle room was a more or less trap door that has a handle on the inside for servants to come in and out willingly without having to disturb Seven here. He leads you through this way and then closes the door after you, and you assume walks back to his post, though you're not entirely certain, having fulfilled his suggested course of action.
Right.
The way into the Savanhur's main quarters that you know of is a very large stone door. From your side, it doesn't look locked, and you can hear a little bit if you press your ear up against it, though at your best guess, it would probably make noise if you tried to open it.
Does it open in towards me or out into the room?
It opens in towards you.
Okay. So I probably would have taken a look in the room when Ikis and Falgrim first walked in. So I want to use Minor Illusion to recreate the image of the door on top of the door, and then open the door up.
Okay, make your choice between stealth and sleight of hand to try and open the door without making audible noise.
Okay, I'm decent at sleight.
Easy enough. The door is well maintained, so it's not going to creak obnoxiously, especially in his personal quarters. You're able to very, very deftly pry it open enough so you can get the full audio, and you can see Fulgrim and a little bit of Ikis. Ikis is kind of blocked by the scenery in the room, but you can see both of them at least a little bit. Though, as far as the Emir, you get like the back of his head at most when he gets really enthralled in the conversation.
Okay. I think that's it for me for now.
Okay.
We'll leave it at that.
Fulgrim, in the back of your mind, you get the dread sense again, and just one more time. Do not test me, boy. Oblige him.
Trying to decide if I even want to respond to that. Or just
Is there any external sign of this?
The look on Fulgrim's
angry.
face.
But that's about it.
Yeah, the look on Fulgrim's face would kind of give away that there's something going on internally, but not the conversation itself.
I just kind of shake my head at him like, no, don't do it. Bad idea. Please, friend.
To myself, in Abyssal, that was never part of our deal.
The deal is open to change. There will be rewards if you help me out.
All right, because Falgrim's not hearing enough voices in his head yet, I'll use minor illusion to create a whisper right in his ear so nobody else can hear it. Telling him that I'm over behind the illusory door, because I'm assuming he's still detecting magic and can see that.
Yeah.
So I could play some tricks with the Emir's head if he wants. Just give a nod if that's what he wants.
I'll shake my head, actually.
All right.
I appreciate the cover. We're going to need that in a minute.
Possibly. I can also use another suggestion.
Out of character, I'd like to get out of here without having to kill the Emir and his guards, because, that would create instability in the city.
You don't have to kill him, you just make him think he saw a demon.
I don't have that kind of illusion. I don't think he's going to fall for it, honestly. And I certainly don't have the illusions for it.
Phantasmal Force is a very strong spell. Assuming I can best and save.
Yeah. That's why I don't think it's going to work. Plus, it only worked for a little bit.
Not like the demon needs to stick around.
So, as he sees your internal struggle, he gets a little bit of delay. He goes, "You're in contact now, aren't you? I see it. The belt. It's staring right at me. What does he say?" Sorry, I guess we couldn't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Couldn't be for now.
Yeah, your mic is really breaking up. Or your internet connection, one of the two.
Probably my internet. Leaving me from outside, he's whether or not you get wishes on him now. You can't change that.
I'm pretty sure that's what he was trying to say.
I'm trying, damn it.
Oh, hey, we actually heard you that time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice.
A little better for the moment. Okay, good.
Awesome.
As I said, your lordship, it is up to him to contact you.
Go and make a deception roll.
Well, that's not bad at all. Oh, come on.
Just something about your tone while in direct contact with Calfei leaves a notable air of doubt in your words.
Question: just traveling with Falgrim or from my studies in general, would I know enough about Abyssal to be able to make something sound like it? Like, I obviously wouldn't be able to say anything in it, but would I be able to reproduce the general sound of the language enough?
To the untrained ear,
Right.
you could make something that sounded between Abyssal and Infernal. If anyone knew either of the languages, they know that you were just full of shit. You could make the sound and see how he reacts.
Okay. Nothing at the moment.
Okay. He doesn't even address you after your sentence. It's so filled with self-doubt in its delivery that he kind of just continues to look at you expectantly after you tell him that he needs to contact you.
Mm. I'm not sure what to
Sorry,
do.
are you waiting for him to spring from the floor?
Fuck it. Minor illusion to start gibberish babble in the Emir's ear.
He gets very excited, hearing the babble. It's definitely a sort of crazed excitement that Fulgrim and Ikis can see on his face, but not discern the reason why. And he looks at Ikis. Is that what happens? Does he come through the floor? Is that his entrance style? Please tell me more. You've traveled with
Also,
Fulgrim.
minor allusions to whisper in Dwarvish to both Aegis and Falgrim as to the fact that I'm doing what I'm doing.
Mhm.
For Fulgrim, it's getting a little hard to discern the voices of your inner monologue, Calfe, and Venric.
Right.
Right. I kind of want to just start screwing with the Amir at this point.
I have a feeling that we're not. Yeah, he's not going to take no for an answer. So, kind of as we expected.
So let's feed him some BS and see what he does. See if he believes us. All right. Oh no, he doesn't just come through the floor straight off. First, it starts with the smoke, of course.
Minor illusion to start creating smoke throughout the room, or in a square in the room in between the three of them.
In between the three of them, the place you'd probably put it is on the offering plate. Is that correct?
Yes, a deep, dark red smoke.
Mm-hmm.
Just slowly billowing out and kind of like settling along the floor and slowly building up. All the while continuing the gibberish in his ears.
He sits forward, his elbows on his knees, looking entirely entranced at the scene that's unfolding before him.
Searching.
Then the stone itself starts bubbling before he appears. And then, of course, his arm reaches out and he likes to drag people down to see him in person. And they rarely come out very well.
Go ahead and make a deception check.
Okay. No.
Would it give him advantage on that if I start making the floor bubble?
I was going to give it an advantage because of the other illusion, but yeah, if you continue to...
Yeah, not the arm yet, but the stone's going to just very, very slowly start having a bubbling effect around the smoke.
Yeah, I would consider that aiding in his deception.
Okay. Awesome.
He's entranced. He kind of scoots. He's now on the edge of his chair, just hands on his thighs, looking expectantly at the offering plate.
Do you know what happened? Oh yeah, he's so messed up. God, I feel like I should kill him, just on general principle. But I'm not allowed to kill random people. I have to remember that. Right. Do you know what happens when you go down to Calfe's realm, though? Fulgrim's told him, but he said that once you get there, Calfe straps you down and demands things from you. And if you refuse he offers a reasonable price, of course. But if you refuse his deals, he starts stripping the skin off you
He looks over. He looks over to you, Fulgrim. Is this true, Cleanless? The skin on your calf and ankle starts to act up as if afflicted when Calfey is present. The voice inside your head is now angrily booming in such a low trumpet that it's you can almost hear the echo of it. Your insolence will be costly.
I begin cursing out the Amir in Abyssal, which I imagine is a good cursing language.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
It's an actual cursing language.
Yes, it is.
oh yeah. It'd be fabulous to curse it.
Blathering moron. Thinks that
I completely forgot about the skin that was messed up on you, actually.
the cost that just. You think this is a route to ease? You think that these costs are not paid? You think that we give these warnings because we're just bored? We're selfish? It's what you deserve to lose everything. You deserve a price.
As he hears you say all this in Abyssal, he stands up and triumphantly, arms in the air, swinging his head wildly from side to side, starts shouting, "Calfey! Calfey! Come to the room!"
I'm not ready to just stab this.
All right.
I just stabbed this guy.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast Phantasmal Force at this point.
Intelligence save DC
15.
15. Oh, that's what we forgot to do at the very beginning. Wow! He doesn't make it.
Well, you know, I mean, with all the smoke and the abyssal and the gibberish in his ears, it's probably fair.
You know, it's understandable.
So he's gonna see.
Can he please see what I actually just described to him? Please?
Yeah, he's gonna see something popping up out of the ground, out of well, because I can't make him do like the full like pulling him down into the other place. Like that's too much, I think.
Yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm.
You can definitely do the strip his skin off, though. That'd probably scare the shit right out of him.
I could, but what he's gonna see is he's gonna see an arm coming out of the offering plate in the smoke. And as the arm first comes out, it's gonna be bright red skin, but as it comes out, like just a few seconds after it comes out, the skin's gonna start sort of like shedding, followed by the bloody muscle, and that's gonna fade away as well until it's mostly just bone and like bits of raw meat hanging off of it. And as that pulls up, it's gonna pull up into like a whole gigantic torso with misshapen head and one arm still kind of stuck in the ground, and it's gonna kind of just bend over and face him with misshapen eyes on its head. So one's going to be like really tiny and staring right at him, and the other is going to be huge, like easily like 3 or 4 times large as the small one, and it's just going to be wildly spinning all around the room, similar to Falgrim's belt.
Damn.
So he sees all this go and utterly convinced that this is the Calfey that you both had warned about. He takes a dagger from his belt and immediately slices up his arm all the way to the center of his palm, and it just starts pouring forth blood. He extends his hand out to the illusory demon. "We have a deal then?"
What the fuck?
I'm going to cast Hex on him Just real like I cast a spell up with the penalty on con saves.
I thought it was checks, not saves.
Oh no, yeah,
It is.
penalty on
It is
con
checks.
saves. Still, he's bleeding out. I want to make that happen more.
If you do it
yeah,
on
but if he bleeds
intelligence
out while
checks,
he's in a room with us, we're boned.
Oh
if
yeah,
you do it on intelligence
that is
checks,
better.
that'll make him believe the illusions better, or make
Yeah.
it harder for him to stop believing them. Rather,
Yeah, then you're right. I'll do intelligence checks. My bad.
nice. I mean, like it won't help the intelligence saves, but at this point, everything is
Still
just
do
investigation
intelligence
checks.
Illusions, yeah.
Hmm.
Um, hmm. So out of character, I'm not quite sure what to do with this illusion at this point.
Have
Make
him
it
laugh
pass
in his face.
Have it pick up some of the blood.
Right, but I mean, like, I'm not sure. Like, what are we trying to get the Emir to do at this point?
Try to get him to stop, like, being freaky as fuck. Really.
I kind of want him to accidentally die.
Yeah, he's... I don't know what the hell to do with him at this point. I feel like I should just knock him out. Throw him in jail, but I can't.
I won't stop you.
God.
All right, so the illusion is going to open up its mouth, and a stream of black smoke is going to come out of it and make its way to his outstretched palm with the blood. And he's going to feel the smoke inject itself into the cut that he made on his arm, and he's going to feel it start like crawling up and inside of his body, painfully, which is probably going to do some psychic damage there.
Yeah.
Uh,
So at this, he starts to scream out in absolute pain, and right as the scream hits its height, all time stops for Fulgrim, and you see the true entrance of Calfei.
oh, shit.
The black turmoil opens up, and he rises up. The black smoke, the ichor dripping from him, the sced shedding everywhere. He looks at you through his dark gold eyes. Fuck is goddamn right. This will cost you. He rushes his hand across the eye of the belt, and you see it flare bright red, and the magnitude of color drains from the eye along the sides of the belt, and you see new golden lettering pop up along the sidings. He goes back down. This isn't over. Your cost will come soon. Very, very soon.
In Dwarven, and I know he understands me anyway.
Mhm.
I'm about ready to find a way out of this.
As he sinks back down, you hear through. It's as if someone's trying to speak to you through mud. You can just. It's thick. It's hard. It's awful to make out, but he just kind of cackles to himself. There is no way out. The portal closes and things come back to life. Time resumes its normal pace for you. As far as Ikis and Venric and the Emir, they haven't taken notice of your belt. It didn't do anything weird for them. Right now, the Emir is screaming out in pain at the top of his lungs, and you guys hear a pounding on the door as the bolts start to unlock.
I guess this is where I start screaming at the Emir. And
Wait,
I
hold
guess
on.
this is- what?
The illusion. So the black smoke, after having made its way inside, is going to stop. So it's not going to force its way any further in. And the illusion's going to open its mouth and tell him to order the guards to remain outside.
Oh, good point.
He said he shouts out with a strain of duress in his voice. Do not come in! I need the privacy! At which point there's a bit of hesitation outside the door as the guards don't quite know what to do. They hear the tension and the pain in his voice, but they're not sure if they're able to ignore a direct command from the Emir.
All right. The illusion's going to continue speaking to him after that then. And the infernal gibberish is going to be dying down in his ears to make it easier to hear the illusion. And it's going to tell him, basically, Falgrim is my loyal lieutenant. You will grant him all the aid that he requires in his mission for me. Do this, and I will reward you.
Yes, of course. Falgrim, quick. Bring me something to write with and write on.
Look around the room, find a piece of paper and a pen.
Unfortunately, you don't see any paper. You have the chalk that was laid out. You could make it so he could write on the floor, but there's no parchment for him to address anything on. As you're running back,
a clean spot of floor for him to chalk upon.
Yeah.
Actually, Venric's gonna wave his arms at Falgrim and hold up a sheet of paper and a pen.
Oh,
because where would you ever go without that stuff on you? This is important, man. You never know when you need to take notes.
I use a chisel because when it's time to write something down, it's time to carve it in stone. Anyway, found the guy.
You run over to Venric, and he's too distracted by the
Right.
cow
Just kind of
fey.
like slide them out past the illusion of the door and leave them on the floor.
Yeah, he's too distracted by the cow fey to even notice that you ran in a weird direction. As you get back over, you hand him the utensils, and there's a severe amount of blood having hit the floor at this point, and it's been about 45 seconds since the phantasmal image started. As he reaches out to take the paper and pen, you see his eyes kind of look 1,000 yards away, and he falls over onto the stone floor.
Oh, God damn it. I'll go heal him.
You go to heal him, and as you attempt to dump points of healing into him, you realize that no energy is leaving your body.
Row.
Is he dead?
As you reach down to try and take his pulse, you don't feel a thing.
Well, shit.
Fuck.
I'm just gonna go ahead and dismiss all of the illusions except for the door.
Okay. Fulgrim, time stops for you once again, and you see Calfe's hand reach up across the body and start to pull down what looks like a green surrounding image, and you just hear the cackle in the back of your head. Looks like he's mine anyway.
Yeah, I kind of expected that to happen. But I'll actually respond to Calfe. Just one.
Oh, much more than one. And then you feel the belt goes to sleep on its own. It's much quicker than you've ever anticipated or ever seen it before. Usually when you use your warlock gift powers, it stays open and will just glance around for 8 hours at a time afterwards. The fact that it's closed itself after only a couple minutes is a little disconcerting.
I'll drop the detect magic anyway, and kind of like sag. Now it's just, are there any guards in the room, or is it just the Emir?
So far, it's just the Emir, though him falling over onto the stone made a rather large thud.
Yeah,
You,
let's do that.
you hear
Yeah, you
the...
guys run.
Here's our options. Option A is to run away. Option B is to run out and tell the guards that the whole thing went badly, and he got killed in the process, and hope they buy it.
Option C is to get rid of the body and impersonate the Emir.
I don't have that stuff. Do you
I
have
don't
that?
think we have anybody sneaky enough to do that. But like,
Two dwarves in an overcoat. Yes, we're the Emir.
which one of us has the higher deck score? You could be on top. I know, right? No,
you hear the door start to unlock.
Ikus is gonna want to stay and explain. He will like usher you guys out the side door, so nothing happens to you. But he's gonna want to stay and explain. Did anybody hear any of what I just said?
Yeah, we heard you.
Yeah.
We heard you.
Okay.
So you hear the bolts start to unlock all the way, and you hear the resounding thunk of it coming completely unlatched, and the door starting to swing open. You've had about 6 seconds at this point to react. If you wanted to, you could have run with Venric. Otherwise, you're in the room with Ikus. What do you do, Fulgrim?
I will stay in the room.
So you stay in the room with Ikus, and Venric, do you continue?
Yeah, I'm staying behind the illusion, but I'm not leaving.
Okay. The guards come in, weapons ready, and they see the Emir down on the floor, very, very obviously dead, not breathing whatsoever.
I'd be trying to like arrange him into a more peaceful pose. Actually,
They charge in, and what have you done? Quick, get the guards! They've murdered the Emir!
He murdered
the
no
ritual
one.
did not go well.
Ritual? What ritual?
The Emir was trying to meddle with forces beyond his control. It went badly.
You, Buheim, what have you done to him? You never
I
liked
did-
the Emir.
I did nothing to him. There is no blood upon me. I have used no spells in here. I have not touched the Emir. I have done nothing to him except try and dissuade him from making a foolish pact with a foolish demon.
They look at they look upon you as you make your speech. The dopier one looks over and he's, Shui, what do we do? And the more intelligent one kind of thinks it over for a moment. Take them to the cells. If they're telling the truth, we'll find some evidence of it, and they can be free to go. But they must be held. If they start to approach on both of you, weapons still drawn, as I assume both of you have your weapons still on you because they weren't taken.
Mm-hmm. Is there? I mean, the chalk circle is still on the floor, at least most of it.
Mm-hmm.
The brazier offering plate is still there. He clearly slit his own wrist in a really long and complicated way, and that's the only damage to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's evidence. He's right.
Yeah, there's no evidence against us unless they start.
Our weapons are clean. I mean, I have a little blood on my hands because I was arranging the body. I don't want to see him all like sprawled out.
Right. The only question now is if they're going to try and frame us or something or other.
Well, my main question now is who takes over if the Emir passes? I'll just ask that straight to the guards. Like, who is next in line? Who is now in charge?
Next in line, that would be. Is the Emir son of age? No, he still has another 2 years to go. Oh,
Will be a regent.
yes.
Uh,
Yeah.
uh,
Well, hopefully he's not that shit like the Emir.
Can go either way. Whatever. We'll figure it out.
I mean, out of
Yeah.
character, you can't do much worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured.
I mean, the other side to it is if it's somebody who wanted to supplant the Emir and is now going to take that opportunity, then they're going to be inclined to help us because then they want to get rid of the Emir's current people. You know what I mean?
Or they might just see it politically expedient to get rid of you.
Yeah.
I was going to say, we could get worse. We could have somebody just as batshit, but more
tries to
competent.
get rid of Icus at this point. So,
So they've stood up. Their weapons are drawn, but more lax. At this point, Venric, you've made it out back front, and they demand that you lay down your arms and come with them peacefully, as a show of good faith, to reside in the cells until this is sorted out.
I stare at my actual arms and be like, I don't think I can do both at once.
They kind of glance back at you, having almost forgotten that you were supposed to be there, and just kind of shake their head, looking back at the individuals with actual weapons on them.
I'm also going to send Feather, who would have been just like flying around the castle, but not like coming inside with us, to go tell Cortanus and Belcax that we're being arrested and that the Emir killed himself.
Mm-mm.
He can peck at you. He can probably, scratch out some basic diagrams in the dirt. He's a smart bird.
Eventually, his Emir looks like realistic. You're really obviously dead.
He pecks at you in Morse code. Unfortunately for you, Morse code wasn't developed when Cortanus was originally alive. So what do you do? What do you two do at their more command than request?
I will stroll up to them and ask, all right, which way is the cells? Let's go.
Yeah, we'll go quietly.
Okay, so you lay down your arms. The one picks them up while the other escorts you down the cells. It's about
4 X's, by the way. hold on. Let's get this other one too. Gotta be honest about it. Probably past midnight now.
Yeah. At this point, there's probably 2, maybe 3 hours until sunrise. So you start pulling belts off your axe and from out of your boot and out from under your beard, because all dwarves have one there.
Do you mean you don't have a beard knife?
Everyone has a beard knife.
Literally every dwarf.
Yeah, but I'm not letting him take my beard knife. You kidding?
He wants it, he's going to have to go in and take it. And the beard's going to put up a fight.
Yeah, seriously.
Right, so you guys go willingly. Feather flies back to the inn. Venric, they escort you as well. And you're all put in a cell together. The guard assures you that they're going to look into this, and if you're telling the truth, nothing to worry about. And that is where we're going to stop and take our break. I will see you all at 41.
Okay.
Comic, not D&D related.
Forgive my tardiness. Is everyone back?
I'm back.
I'm back.
Yep.
Awesome. So, we had to miss out on doing this in the beginning of session because I forgot. But let's run through everyone's newly acquired powers now that you've gone up in a proficiency bonus. You've earned extra campaign item stuff.
Oh, I totally forgot about that. Hold on.
So let's start with, I guess, do you know yours?
Yes. So every time I deal radiant damage, I gain temporary hit points equal to half the amount of radiant damage I do, rounded down, up to my paladin level. Did you hear that?
We did hear that.
Okay. I can never tell right now.
It's off and on. Do you have any other special actual paladin powers that come with fifth?
Extra attack.
Well, that'll help.
Yep.
Like temporary hit points for days.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
No,
basically
I get-
everybody's 5th level stuff is going to be either extra attack or 3rd level spells.
Yeah.
Or both.
Or in some cases, both.
On the other hand, I get auras at every level except 8 until level 10. So that'll be cool. That's when I start getting all my really sweet paladin powers.
Venric, enlighten us. What do you now bring to the table?
My spell book is now a spell Kindle. That's about it.
Succinctly put.
I don't know. I'm looking it up. I'm curious.
Basically, I can store other books inside of it, much like you would ebooks on an ebook reader.
Huh.
Which I would be doing with all of my notes and journals at this point.
No.
You now have one very, very valuable book.
Yep.
Flint, what do you get to do now? Belcax should be so happy. Speaking of, Chris, what can you now do?
I don't plan on being within 5 feet of her. So outside of Fireball, I also get my wand, my spiffy wand gets detect magic and some magic missile charges.
Who doesn't love magic missile and fireball? It's a great combination.
Best
Two
combination.
great tastes that taste great together.
And Fulgrim, why don't you tell us about your belt?
All right, the belt is now when I'm hit by an attack that deals at least a quarter of my max HP. That's what? That's 11 points or more. I can Misty Step away from the attacker for free up to 30 feet. And that's once per long rest.
That's handy.
Shit goes bad, Calface gotcha.
In the manner of speaking. And then my other features are the Thirsting Blade Invocation, which gives me 2 attacks with my Pact Blade only. And I got a 3rd level spell, and I picked up Counter Spell for that.
Nice.
It was between that and Fly, but Fly's concentration, so I don't want Counter Spell. Ever useful. I only get that if I use the hand axe in the offhand, which isn't really does not often work out to being useful.
So I, as the dungeon master, leveled you all up, and now I get to throw even harder shit at you guys.
Mm-hmm.
That's always fun.
Yep.
First up on the menu, 1 guard, and after that, like I don't even know, like 2 guards.
Nice.
It's gonna be nuts.
Wow. We're getting crazy fast in here.
Yeah, I
And
know.
then all the guards.
Can you just have them stand within 20 feet of each other?
Okay, so we head back into our scene. We have our 3 compatriots down in a jail cell, and a newly arrived Feather tapping at the window of Kurtanis and Belcax's room.
What? I'm gonna turn that noise into a sound clip or something.
Oh, what's going on? Yeah, that's never a good thing.
Sorry,
So-
just tough.
So do you think we should go check it out and see if we can see what's going on? Well, let's go. Are we in the same end that we were last session? So let's go wave to Cave on the way out, and then go say hi to whoever they were talking to.
Was she working on anything? Does she have like a knitting needle that she plays with? So like close to what I said. I mean like one and the same.
Totally the same thing.
Yeah. Okay, so you wave to Johnson on the way out. He just kind of gives you the "I do in fact know your name" salute. It doesn't take much. You've been through here before. The guards know you now. Well, recognize you now, and they know that your friends came through here earlier, so it's not unheard of that you would be following along afterwards. They let you up to the Emir's tower, at which point you are stopped by the guard that you saw before outside of Fulgrim's door. No. Can't come in right now. Tower's closed.
Why?
There's been an incident. They're being held until more of the investigation is seen through.
Can you give us a little more information on this incident?
I cannot.
Can we talk to somebody that can?
Kind of eyes you up and down like, How dare you insult me? No, this is ongoing, and we don't need to incite panic.
No need to take offense. I assumed you can't because you're not allowed to, not because you didn't know anything.
Mm-hmm. Indeed, we're not at privilege to speak of it at this moment.
Which I understand, which is why I'm asking if I can talk to somebody that is allowed to talk to me about it.
You can go wait with your friends. And
And where are they?
They're currently being held downstairs at the moment.
They're like a visiting hour. We can go talk to them, or
You can stay with them until the matter's resolved, or you can leave.
I'm looking for a shorter stay.
I'm thinking you can come back once the situation's resolved then.
Yeah, I'm not really big on that.
I'm not really big on you right now, Dragonborn. Yeah, go ahead. Tell me about them as people. Are any of them questionable? Maybe, I don't know, would harm another person for the sake of sacrifice or science or something?
No, they totally would not do that.
Deception check, please.
Oh.
Hey, I wouldn't kill somebody for science. Then I wouldn't have any more test subjects.
You tried to light that guy on fire. I don't even remember.
No, I wanted him to step outside the city to see if he would light on fire. There's a difference.
No, he wouldn't have said for science. He would have questioned if your friends were capable of harming another person.
Only in self-defense.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
There's also a devil worshipper amongst them. And your quirky friend. Though, to be fair, I've never seen him do anything harmful. He just irks me.
Yeah, he does that to people. That doesn't make him bad.
He's like an annoying fellow who wears high suspenders and always goes around breaking shit and then saying, "Did I do that?" Yes, of course you did that. Don't ask stupid questions. Ugh. You may be right. You may be right. I believe it's a definitive possibility. So, tell me, you leave someone in a chamber with another person. You open the chamber, and one of those people is dead. Who do you assume did it?
Well, what else was going on? Like,
Indeed. The Emir often makes requests that I would deem strange, but it is not my place to judge them.
if I may also ask, just given the scenario like you laid it out is a bit weird. Was there anything else going on? Like anything else suspicious? Like set up in the room? Like how were the people oriented and arranged?
Well, both of your friends were standing. Your other friend was sitting outside. The Emir was in his throne. There was a serving dish in the middle of the floor and some firelight that gave vibrance to the room. I believe he was asking for chalk earlier in which to take notes or draw some sort of diagram or caricature. Not entirely sure. It seems like he had them over for clearly intellectual purposes, but when
Yeah, I would think a quill would be a much better note-taking device than chalk. Was there anything on the floor? Besides, like, actually drawn on the floor?
I saw some scuffs here and there, of course. The servants don't do a very good job. There were black marks, you know. I believe the soles of their poorly made shoes, and or the dirt and debris that they keep on them, might have treaded on the floor.
Did you see the chalk? Sorry, go ahead. I was just going to ask, did you see the chalk marks, like any chalk marks anywhere in the room?
Well, yes, there was a circly bit that I assumed to be half of a Venn diagram. Are you uneducated? You sound so sophisticated, and yet you don't know a Venn diagram. He goes into explaining what a Venn diagram is using his hands for the shapes. So you take this circle of attributes and you take this circle of attributes. You lay them over one another, and where the circles intersect, you lay attributes that they share in common, you see. He goes through like a 5-minute spiel on the intricacies of a Venn diagram, feeling very proud the entire time that he gets to teach someone something.
Yeah, it seems like an odd place to start using math.
Venn diagrams aren't math.
Diagrams are more of a logic thing, but the thing is,
Thing is, you're in a dungeon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, the other thing too is you would probably never confuse a Venn diagram for a magic circle.
This
Well,
Unless
guy's
you're an idiot.
This guy's also claimed it was a serving platter, and that the torchlight was for ambiance.
Right.
You know, you
I
just gotta
did
set
fail
the
to
mood.
account for the fact that this guy's an idiot.
I mean, he is a guard, right?
Yes.
So that really sounds more like a magic ritual or something than something else. I mean,
Tell me, would you be able to trick someone into hurting themselves?
well, if you know much about rituals, if someone's trying to perform a ritual and something doesn't go right, they can end up hurting themselves quite easily.
Look at me. Do you think I know much about the arcane?
You knew about Venn diagrams.
Which aren't arcane, Dragonborn. It's simple logic.
It's all right. I just assumed you knew more than most people.
He gets a goofy grin on his face from you insinuating that he might be more intelligent than most. You know what? I'll take you to see your friends, but only for a short while.
Thank you. Most appreciated.
You are escorted down to the cell and left outside of it while he goes to the other side of the door that closes off the cell section.
I've probably by now cleaned my gloves. God, prestidigitation is awesome.
Yes, it is. So you encounter your three friends in a cell.
Yeah, we're fine.
You're injured.
What did y'all do?
The Emir kind of tried to summon a demon. One that we've already been acquainted with, if you know what I mean.
Hmm.
And it didn't go very well for him.
As one would
He was
expect.
very enthusiastic about. Sorry?
Yes. Well,
He was
unfortunately,
very enthusiastic about. Yeah, damn it. He was very enthusiastic about it.
do they not have? Well, I suppose it's still the night, but have they not brought in their own mages to examine the situation? Not sure what good that'll do us, but
Outside of the Venn diagram thing, we haven't been able to get much information out of them.
they're guards. It's their job to be obstructive. The key is to figure out who's actually investigating and who will actually make a decision as to whether we are guilty or innocent, and persuade them that we are not at fault. And we are not. The Emir did this to himself.
Indeed. Worst comes to worst, we can always find a cleric and just get him to cast Zone of Truth on us or something. So that he can verify.
That's assuming we can find a high enough level cleric.
I mean, I can cast
Level
the
2,
frickin'
right?
thing, but they won't accept that probably. It's a second level spell.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Zone of Truth, you know when you're inside it, right?
Yeah,
You
but I
know
mean,
it is
we have
true.
nothing to hide. We didn't kill him.
No, but if you know that you're inside it and that it's affecting you, you could cast it, they could walk inside, and then we could be inside it and answer questions.
If they believe his casting, they'd probably want to get their own priest to cast it.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
well, I'm saying if they don't have anybody to cast it.
Right.
It's a whole city. I'm sure they got somebody who can do that one. That's a useful spell. Especially for a non-adventurer. But
Guys, there hasn't been somebody
good.
along to cast it already.
But yeah, the guards are they're only here to make sure no one else gets hurt at this point. So of course they're going to get in everyone's way. They're waiting to get actual orders from someone who can give actual orders. Should be the regent, I guess. I shrug.
I'm sorry, he kind of went crazy and slit his wrists.
It's just the one wrist, actually.
Not helping, Vedrick.
Is that really
To be
all he
fair,
did?
don't you think we would rather be on our way as well?
What, you don't like hanging out in a dungeon? As guests?
These are not proper stone walls. Look at this workmanship. You're the only
Yes.
ones free to do anything unless we want to fight our way out of Orsham, which I'd like to avoid doing if possible.
Likewise. If you can, Belcax, do you think you could get in to see the regent?
I can try.
He's probably the person to see to get ourselves out of here as fast as possible. If anybody could expedite this, it'd be him.
Or her, or whoever.
Or her.
Them, yes.
Besides that, I mean, we're stuck in the cell. You guys are the ones who are free.
So, was there anything that happened that kind of enticed him to think that slitting his wrists would do something?
It was already insane. I don't know. I was kind of preoccupied.
So y'all didn't influence him at all?
I tried to tell him not to. I will say I'm not.
We
I
both
can't.
did.
He was attempting to be present. The demon. I'll give a shrug. I can't exactly blame him in this case. I did everything I could to prevent it. And his touch was minimal.
Good.
All right. Well, unless y'all have any more information that y'all want to convey to us before we go talk to the regent.
We did everything we could, honest.
All right. Well, shall we, Cortanus?
So as you go to exit, you start to walk towards the door in which you were, in which you entered through, the one where the guard is on the other side of. You get about 15 feet from it when in strides an elf with long onyx hair, very slender in figure, wearing robes that are glistening white and gold. She has a shawl over top of them that is some sort of black fur material. Her face is young but stern, and her eyes look like they have the wisdom of those much older than her. As she comes around the corner, she looks at you up and down. Cortanus Belcax? I am Azamir. I'm the regent now that this tragedy has befallen us. Please, come this way.
That was Azamir?
Azamir.
Azamir. Okay.
She brings you over to the cell where Fulgrim, Ikis, and Venric are. She looks them up and down. Stand, please.
I'll stand for her, I guess.
Wake up your friend.
Edric!
Yeah. 5 more minutes.
Henrik!
Wizard, wake yourself.
Henrik slowly opens his eyes and sleepily stands up.
I'd like to prestidigitate a really terrible smell for him. Can I? Speed up.
Hey,
Is,
that's not
getting up.
necessary. I'm gonna do it right back.
Are you sure you saw me do it? Because you were still kind of pretty much asleep.
I don't think anybody else would do that, though. Or could do that. I guess Falgrim could. It's not the sort of thing Falgrim would do.
Boys, enough. Fulgrim, Ikis, Venric. I am Regent Azamir. I am now in charge after your less than optimal meeting with the Emir. Please, come out. She opens the door and allows you to exit into the 10-foot hallway if you choose.
We'll step out.
What's her play?
Depends on whether or not she wants to make herself the new Emir or not.
She is Regin. But,
Yeah,
She
always for
does
the next
already have
couple
a
of
mirror in her name.
years.
appear to have... Does she appear to have any ulterior motives? Or is she...
She seems business straight. Like she's got a job to do and she's doing it.
Okay. Go with her for now.
So as you all step out, she starts to mumble under her breath, using hand signals that you know to be those of those belonging to religious deities. And you see a sparkle kind of rise over you and start to crest down around you all. You now know. Gosh. It is a wisdom saving throw, I believe. Yes.
Zone of Truth's charisma.
Charisma. Damn.
Yep.
So
I
close.
looked it up like 2 minutes ago.
Hey, everyone, please make a charisma saving throw.
Can I just
Um,
choose to fail it?
Yeah, is she gonna know if we've made our wisdom save or a charisma save or not?
She will.
Yeah, then I'm just gonna intentionally fail it.
Yeah, I'd like to intentionally fail it as well. I have nothing to hide.
Belcax, would you like to alter your course of action?
Nope.
Okay.
I'll intentionally fail as well.
Okay, so she senses all of your failures aside from Belcax, who she knows may or may not tell truth depending on his inclination. She looks at you three,
I look like Belkar is also the least suspicious of us.
Probably.
kinda. She looks at you three. Tell me, without leaving out any details, what transpired.
Okay, I'll start. I was awoken. Well, I suppose I should start even earlier. When we first arrived in the city, apparently word of our abilities reached the ears of the Emir. We surmised from our conversations with him that he was interested in the style of magic that I use, to put it politely. Last night, in the middle of the night, he sent his agents, one agent and 2 guards, to summon me to his tower. In the process of doing so, he woke my companions, I gestured to the 2, and we all traveled to the Emir's tower to see what the meeting was about. We were taken to a room, just me, Ikis, and the Emir were in the room. On the floor, he had drawn a magic circle. I'm not sure exactly the purpose of that magic circle. It's not a talent I possess. There was also an offering plate and several braziers with, I believe, incense. He then asked me how I made contact with the being I borrow power from. I refused to tell him in any particular detail. He pressed me for answers, and I continually told him that it was not a matter of what one did. It was a matter of the creature coming and contacting the potential warlock. After some time, I was overwhelmed by the presence of the demon in question, which did want to contact the Emir himself, as I suspected it would, because the Emir would be a tasty soul for him to steal. And of course, taking control of the Emir would have given that demon access to anyone and anything in Orsham it would want for its own vile purposes. Fending off the demon and as well as the Emir's persistence absorbed much of my mental faculties, so I can't give too many details as to what else happened. But at some point, he began seeing what he believed to be the presence of the demon. He, for some reason I will never truly understand, decided to offer his blood to the creature, which caused him to bleed out. Upon his death, his soul was stolen by the creature.
She waits patiently and observes intently as you go through the entirety of the story. You say that he summoned you and that at one point he started to see the demon. Do you know this to be the demon himself, or some sort of figment of his imagination?
I do not truly know. The demon did not appear physically at any time, but I know it can contact people individually and mentally, as it was in my mind, which is not to say it was not in anyone else's mind, though I do not believe it had the connection it wanted. As for what he did or did not see, I do not know. I can only extrapolate from his behavior.
I guess. What details do you have in addition to this?
The Emir was attempting to wanted Fulgrim to bring his patron through in order to attempt to make a bargain with it. I spent most of our conversation alternating between directly trying to dissuade him and attempting to dissuade him by describing the sorts of things that Calfe would potentially do to him. Oh shit, I just used his name. I didn't mean to use his name.
I shudder at the name.
Sorry, friend.
Calfe, you say?
I wish I hadn't said that name. Yes.
Noted. The Yugoloth, if I'm not mistaken, she's looking at Fulgrim addressing you now.
I nod. An Ultraloth.
Dark times indeed. I guess you described that you were trying to dissuade him. Were you in the room?
Yes.
Where were you in relation to Fulgrim and the Emir?
I would have been to Fulgrim's right, I believe, if my mental image of the room is correct. To Fulgrim's right, away from the Emir.
And is there anything else you'd like to add? Any other details that you may have left out?
No.
She looks at Benric. Librarian, where were you as this all occurred?
Oh, I'm afraid I never entered the room, so I can't really say fully what went on there other than what you've already heard from Falgrim and Icus.
Were you able to hear anything in particular, something that may have caused the Emir to act in such a way?
I didn't hear anything that might have caused him to act this way. I certainly heard a very loud scream at one point in the ongoings. I believe that's when the guards started to try to make their way inside, though they stopped after he called out to instructing them to remain outside, though they did come in shortly afterwards, where we saw the Emir lying on the floor dead.
I guess Fulgrim, he mentioned that the Emir screamed out in pain. Do you know the cause of the pain? The reason for his scream?
I look at Icus.
It was
the arm, but
it would have been after he started slicing his arm open.
I'm not sure if it
I
was.
imagine it had something to do with that.
Or immediately after, as he was initially. The details are confusing. Keep in mind, there was a very dark presence in the chamber as well. I don't believe it was when he was cut his arm, but shortly thereafter and before he died, but not long before he died. I cannot answer more accurately than that.
I guess tell me about his demeanor during your interaction with him.
He seemed rather mad, to be entirely honest. He was very fixated on the idea of making contact with Fulgrim's patron. He was very excited at when we told him little pieces about the patron, and you can see the end results of that excitement when he finally, I imagine, thought he'd made contact on his wrists, or on his single wrist, I guess.
Hmm.
He seemed almost like a child trying to being excited over a new toy in the toy shop window.
I appreciate your bluntness. Do not disrespect the dead. You two, how did you come to know that something had gone awry here?
Venric's pet came to talk to us, or came to get us.
His pet, you say?
Yeah, he has a pet crow.
It's not a crow. He's a falcon. I assume at this point. Yeah, he probably would have moved over to Fenric's shoulder after we got let out.
Unless you instructed otherwise via your link with him, his last instruction was not to enter the tower directly. So I assumed he was just circling.
Oh. I mean, we do that too, but Kratanis was further up in the chat saying that she would let Feather sit on her shoulder.
It's fine. I made assumptions. They might not be correct.
Yeah. I'm also kind of assuming that Feather's intelligent enough to disobey orders when he wants to.
Fair enough. So, to Deus Ex Machina a little bit, his pet, do you mean the bird here?
Squaw!
Yes, that one.
A delightful beast. Now, you say he believes he made contact. Is there anything to support that claim?
The bird?
Addressing Fulgrim, Icus, Fenric.
Okay.
Well, Fulgrim, I guess, at this point.
I know that Calfe has his soul now. I
As-
saw it get taken.
As much as I believe that, while he was still alive, do you know of any reason that he may have believed that he had made contact with your Calfe?
I'm a bit confused by the question.
Out of character, he was ranting and raving near the end as if he was talking to Calfe.
Yeah, he certainly behaved as though he did. He didn't display any gifts from him.
He said after he sliced his wrist, he said something to the effect of, "Demon, do we have an accord or a deal?" I don't remember his exact words.
Dire news indeed. Well, as the scene played out, and as we have inspected your weapons thoroughly, it does indeed appear as you say. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. You will all be allowed back to the inn. You will be escorted, of course.
Are we entirely free to go?
Don't leave the city quite yet, but you're not under arrest.
I see. Very well.
It is my duty.
Thank you, man.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have various other matters to attend to.
I imagine so. Shall we go?
Yes. Jordan will lead you back. She curtsies in reply.
I'll bow to her.
So, Jordan awaits at the end of the chamber for you all.
Let's go with him.
He escorts you back to the inn. You get a lot of dirty looks from the guards along your way, though no one makes any aggressive movements towards you. When you get back, Johnson kind of looks you guys up and down suspiciously.
All right. Time to hit the hay again. See what more sleep we can get.
When's the slave auction?
In the morning.
Mm-hmm.
This morning?
Mm-hmm.
About a couple hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm getting a nap anyway. I need my spell back.
I know. I think Icus will be a bit too high strung right now to sleep, so I'll probably just go down into the common room and snack.
Fulgrim has sweet, sweet nightmares. I guess you're able to get chips, dip, carrots, ranch.
Awesome.
I figure if I didn't get a full night's sleep, I'll head back to bed too.
And, you know, it's funny you should mention sleeping. It turns out the guest next to you plays the tuba.
God damn it. Not anymore, he doesn't. I'm putting an end to that.
I prestidigitate a really terrible smell in his room.
Oh! Oh, God! Who did this? He goes downstairs. He complains. You don't hear much from him afterwards, though. You're able to get 2 hours of rest before I guess knows it's time for you guys to leave if you're gonna get to the slave auction.
I'm up and at him. Yeah. Do I have to go around waking everybody up again?
So far as I know, everyone is asleep except for you.
Oh boy.
I'll get up.
I'm gonna go around and start knocking on doors.
Icus is once again unfortunately cheery for the morning.
Wake up, sleepyheads.
There's something wrong with you.
Paladin.
Yep, that would be it.
Yep. I'll just turn around and walk straight back out. Go
think he's
knock on
still-
more people's doors.
I think he's delirious from lack of sleep.
Whatever makes you feel better. A rest for the wicked, after all. How else do they keep getting ahead of us?
They're dirty cheaters.
That too, probably. But anyhow, we have a slave auction to go to. This is going to suck. Sli- This is going to be awful. I apologize. It's a turn of
All
phrase.
about you.
Do you all head down to the poorer district?
Yep.
Yep, let's do it.
There's quite the crowd gathered around a single platform. That vacuums. Sorry. There's a single platform where you see a line of raggedly dressed individuals who just kind of look like this is another day for them. You see one person who's up on stage. He's loudly shouting to the crowd in common, and there's just a whole crowd of people. Some very finely dressed, some dressed mediocrely. And there are, of course, a couple fellows draped in purple. And they're shouting out prices right now. You know, it's a regular auction as if you were buying an item. And you see as you get there, Anglesio is in the crowd near the purple purple coated individuals.
Of course he is. After I told him to stay away from them.
Hey,
I'm
aren't we
gonna.
worried
Sorry?
Sorry, I was just going to ask, aren't we worried about him being sold as a slave or something? Or just getting wrapped up in with the Mafia clan?
The two are kind of the same thing at this point. Unfortunately. As I remember it anyways.
From last session, he had agreed to go with them after they bought a slave or two to help liberate them from the poorer districts. So he wasn't sold to them. He agreed to go willingly. And then Ikis was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Maybe you don't do that.
Yeah, maybe you don't get turned into a slave, kitty. Right. Guess I'll make my way over to him. To Anglesio.
Well, hi, Mr. Ikis.
Hey there, Anglesio. How you doing?
The two fellows in the purple jackets kind of sneer over at you, but don't really mind you that much. Oh, I'm great. Just, waiting to see what happens today. I met you here like you asked.
Yeah, you did.
So,
Did the nice man up at the church take care of you?
yeah, he let me sleep, and then he let me sweep, and then he let me mop, and then he let me clean.
Oh, sounds like he put you to work.
Yeah, he was real great. He let me do a lot of work.
Let you do? Let's put that aside for the time being.
The kid's got a roof over his head, 3 squares a day,
Yeah.
and maybe at some point he'll get to learn magic.
Yeah, he's got a pretty sweet deal, to be honest.
Especially given that his previous deal was starving the streets.
Yeah. You made a decision?
I'm not yet. I'm a little torn.
That's fair. The nice man up in the temple should let you stay as long as you need to. I'll have a word with him about it tonight. Alright?
Yeah, it sounds that sounds great. I mean, I'm not sure if I want to stay.
Okay.
I mean, the church is nice, don't get me wrong. I mean, he didn't convince me that he'd help, but you did.
Well, You can always come with me if you want, but it's a dangerous way.
Could I really?
You could. We live a very dangerous life, though. Unfortunately.
I'm special. You could teach me how to be like you.
You want to learn how to be like me.
Well, I mean, you're a good person.
Aww. Oh, he's so cute.
Says the kid to the dwarf who just helped kill the Emir.
Yeah. Oh god. Alright. I'll have to talk to my comrades and see if they'll accept you coming along with us, but I think they will. They're good people too.
Oh, that'd be great. Oh, hold up. That's my friend up there right now. I really hope he gets bid on by the Mafia. Use the man up on the stage. The spotlight, he is 12, little sturdy millimeter. Here we go, I'm just going twice. We have 200, 212, 212, 213, 214, 215. 5 gold, 5 gold, 5 gold, 5 gold, 5 gold, 4 copper, 5 gold, 4 silver, 5 gold, 6 silver. Goes on like that. The Mafia are continually bidding to make, just to raise the price. It doesn't look like they're looking to be the winners in the way that they're bidding. Looks like they're trying to raise the price on him, though.
They're selling your friend?
Yeah, he's a slave. It happens.
I see.
Those of us who get rounded up, we just get kind of sold off as slaves. It's a part of the daily life, you know.
I see. It shouldn't have to be.
Oh gosh, there's a lot of things that shouldn't have to be.
Yep. I'm gonna fix every last one of them if I can. Anyhow, I have these lovely gentlemen in purple that me and my friends need to talk to. Can you meet me up at the church tonight?
Yeah, sure, Mr. Ikus. I'd love to meet you to church and come with you guys. I'm going to keep this to Cortanis, as she was the only one who was specifically looking around for anyone not focused on the auction. I'm going to give everyone else their passive perception. Cortanis, you see a hooded individual who is standing very near to Venrek. His hand is outstretched, doing something at Venrek's side. Though you can't get the face, the hood is down too far to see. As you shove him out of the way, you see his fingers in a strange formation touching the tip of Venrek's book. And as he gets shoved out of the way and you confront him, he bolts. You could try. Make a dexterity check. That's a dexterity check. Alright, gang, this is where The story may or may not fly off the hinges. It all
Oh
comes
boy.
it all comes down to a roll.
Damn.
Sometimes when you're planning out a session, you're like, "Oh man, like that's how this will go," and then you don't realize it might not actually go that way.
Oh, hold on. As he's running away, and after Cortana fails to catch him, I want to go ahead and cast Levitate on him. So he's going to make a DC 15 con save.
As you begin to do the hand and pull out the material and use and speak the words, you feel like a spike hit you mentally, and it kind of interrupts your arcanic flow.
Well, that's some bullshit.
Where is he running currently?
He is running towards an alley that is right nearby.
I'm going to cast Web in the alley when he gets there.
Okay, you see him having a very difficult time. He makes it there after 12 seconds of running, and you see him having a very difficult time progressing through the web.
Does he get stuck?
Yeah. Yeah, so right now he is stuck and he's fiddling with something in his pockets.
Chase this guy down.
Do I notice any of this happening?
There's a pretty big commotion going on.
Uh-oh. Unless so, I have to go. I'll see you at the church tonight. Okay?
Yeah, sure. Same one, same guy. Yeah, I'll be there, Mr.
Same one.
Ikis.
All right.
As you approach the man, you look up very quickly, and you see long white hair, human face, pretty grand beard that's tucked inside the robing. He looks familiar-ish to you. He looks very familiar to you, Venric. He pulls out a key from his belt pocket, and right in front of him is a doorway, and it looks like just like a regular establishment, like the side entrance, like an alley entrance. He pulls out the key, unlocks the door, shoves it inward, and inside, those of you who are right by the entryway, roughly right by Cortanus, see that this leads to a instead of the inside of the building like you would have thought, it leads to a swampy type area where there's a very large ornate stone castle built, and he kind of just gives you a wink, slices the webbing on his rightmost foot with a small dagger that he had, and then falls through the doorway.
But if you only did one foot,
Misty
when is the other
step
foot
into
be
the
stuck?
doorway.
Sorry, I didn't get both of you were talking at the same time.
I was just asking if you cut one leg free, when does the other one still be stuck?
From what you saw, the one leg past the doorway kind of pulled all of him into it.
Okay.
Actually, one. Yeah, I'm gonna misty step into the doorway before it shuts.
As you misty step into the doorway, you find yourself inside of the establishment that was on the other side. For the rest of you, Venric disappears, the door closes, and the key is still in the lock, but all sign of the man has disappeared. People are a little surprised, and by a little I mean people are surprised when someone just appears inside of the establishment. You get a kind of reaction.
Yeah,
I-
after a bit of disorientation, I would try to make my way back out of the building because I'm assuming there was a doorway there.
Yeah, as you go to use the doorway that you think is open, it is locked from the inside.
So I'd unlock it and open it up.
It requires like an actual key to unlock it from the inside.
This is bullshit.
I dispel the webs, by the way.
Okay.
I knock on the door.
From inside, they tell you to go out the front entrance. We don't allow patrons to use the side entrance. From outside, you hear the knocking.
Yeah, but not where I thought I'd be.
Did I
Alright,
try
yeah, I
using the
guess
key
I'll-
on the door again? Because the key's still in the door, right?
Yes, it is.
Anybody try using the key to open the door again?
You try and turn it, and it doesn't fit the door anymore. Though, as you grasp the key itself, you feel a surge of rejuvenation, sort of not healing, but of arcanic flow go through you.
Yeah, I think we should take this key with us.
Probably a good idea. Did anyone recognize this man?
It looked
You all-
familiar to me, but
You all have a vague recollection. Like, you're like, oh god, he looks so familiar. Aside from Vemrick, who's like, oh my god, I swear I just saw the guy who made the spellbook.
that's what I figured. Why
Oh.
the fuck is Nalthum trying to steal from me? Like a common pickpocket.
Maybe he wants his spellbook.
So why would he pickpocket if he's Malcolm?
Oh.
Oh, I suppose that's true. I've grown up in the city and just gotten used to somebody's at your belt and probably trying to steal from you.
Is he trying to cast a spell or something?
I'm going to take the spellbook out and examine it to see if anything's changed.
As you open up the front page, writing scrawls itself down the lines very ornately. Skip the veins, travel up the spine. At the tip of the blade, oh, so fine. A river in which the water are clouds. The basin covers and shrouds. Key importance beyond compare. Take care to clear the unseen snare. This is the same puzzle that I gave you guys as a heads up in the sketch chat.
Yeah.
That I effed up the first time and then gave you the correct version the second time.
So, key importance beyond compare. I feel like it's a good idea to take that key.
Yes.
As for the rest of it, I have no idea.
I feel like it's a tree.
I feel like it's a map, actually. It's talking about traveling somewhere.
Let's skip the veins, travel up the spine.
Wait.
Probably refers to mountains.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
The tip of the blade. So fun.
Is I'm not
There's
sure
a
what that
mountain
is.
range on the map called the Old Spine.
Well, Spine of Mountains is not an uncommon term.
Yeah.
There. River in which the water are clouds. Fulgrim's going to be utterly useless for this. So
The
he'll be
river in the basin could be referring to like a waterfall. As the water, falls down into the basin, creates a bunch of spray.
Which that would make sense for a river in which the water are clouds.
And then the basin covers and shrouds.
Hmm. Yeah.
So tip of the blade probably refers to which mountains then. And importance of the key, and there's a trap.
Yeah.
An unseen trap.
Well, the basin covers and shrouds means it's probably under the water.
Right.
River in which the water are clouds.
So, you need to go back to the library and see if we can find any reference to a waterfall, particularly in relation to Nalthom. That's how I'm reading it.
While you all try and discern the riddle that Venric has newly discovered in his book, Kurtanis and Fulgrim, if he's not participating because he knows he's not good at riddles, see the auctioneer start to offer up the last couple slaves. At this point, the purple-cloaked fellows start bidding, and they look serious this time with their bids. Fulgrim, you get that creeping feeling once again, and you hear Calfei. You lost me one, now go get me two.
Oh.
No.
You do not tell me no. At which point you feel the connection between you break, as it does when he severs with you. I'm sorry, Kurtanis, I didn't hear what you said.
Right. We can worry about the riddle later. What's this? What slave are they bidding on?
You see a couple of very young boys and girls that are being bid on right now. They look like they'd make good workhorses, but at the same time, you can't hear what he's saying over the crowd because you're just far away at this point.
And what's the bidding at, like cash-wise?
Cash-wise, they are up to right around 6 gold for the first girl.
How much you want to bet they can use magic? And that's why they want them.
I'm sure there's something special about them. But okay, that's...
All right.
I guess at this point, something that hasn't happened in quite a while. You feel small bites on your wrist as you mindlessly handle the pommel of your sword.
Oh, good. Camus wants me to buy them, doesn't she?
You feel a desire to walk further into the alley.
Okay. Let's follow that.
Okay, so what do the rest of you do?
I think I will... I'm not sure what to do with them after.
Go, be free, live in poverty.
Yo, bid on a slave.
What do you bid?
7? Is that still a valid number?
Yes, they were right around high 6s.
Okay.
You hear one of the purple cloaked fellows yell out 7.5.
7 and
I
3
have,
quarters.
I have like 200 and something gold, so
You're in the back of an alley.
yeah, but if you
I'm
need-
basing it on my own. I have so much more gold than I do, but whatever. 7 and 3 quarters.
8.25.
8.5.
They kind of give you a dirty look. 9.
Go for the throat.
9.5.
They both lower their hands and let it get called out to 3, where the man awards you victory of the auction of the little maybe 7-year-old girl. Asks you to come forward, claim and pay.
Yep. Take the money out.
Okay, so they start on the second of 5 individuals. This boy looks to be roughly around 9, very malnourished, and the bidding starts at 4. And the Mafwa, again, continually try to be the highest bidder.
I'm gonna take the. Need to do this quickly. I need to try and figure out if this girl has any magic talent somehow.
How do you try and
You could
figure
do it
out?
the Harry Potter way and try dropping her out of like a 3-floor house.
No, I don't
See
think
if she
you're gonna.
bounces.
Can you detect magic?
I can't actually. Which creates a problem on its own. But
I
yeah,
can do it.
yeah. But I'll haul her back to the rest of the group.
Okay, bidding's up to right around 7. And it seems like there's only one other serious contestant with the Mafwa at this point. Once. Twice.
There's something special about these two.
Okay, I'll throw up 12. The bid for 12.
Sold! He asks you to come up and give payment, receive your prize.
I go up and pay.
The Mafwa at this point look disgusted at your entire party. You tote back your malnourished 9-year-old. He starts on the third one this time. The girl is about 13, and bidding starts at 9. You see a bunch of hands go up immediately. It almost immediately rises to 18 gold. The Mafwa don't bid at all on this one. At this point, there's probably only 3 serious bidders left, but it's already up to the mid-20s for this girl. 26, 27, 28, 35. And she's sold to an older-looking gentleman of high-quality apparel. They go on to the 4th individual, and he's maybe 4, really, really little, and bidding starts at 3 gold at which point the Mothwa begins to participate again, and it slowly goes up over the course of a minute or so. What they were doing with the first two. They're trying to stay in the lead, but they're not being overly aggressive bidders.
I have a 7-year-old.
Belcax has a 9-year-old, I think.
A malnourished 9-year-old.
Yeah.
You mean Cortanus has a malnourished 9-year-old?
You should probably give that kid a sandwich or something.
Oh, he devours it without a second thought.
Don't give him too much at once or he'll puke it up.
Yeah, slow down there, child.
Bidding's up to right around 5 gold, and it seems to be tapering off with the Mothwa in the lead. 450 going once, going twice. Sold. Purple jacketed fellas. Congratulations on another acquisition. They go up and grab the boy, and he's all smiles as he runs towards them. Gives them a great big hug, and everyone in the crowd kind of cheers and just like gives them a pat on the back, like, "Oh, you continue to do such good work." They get to the fifth and final boy, and he's maybe 14. He looks wiry, and bidding for him starts at like 12 gold and gets to like 16 over the course of a minute or so. You see the Mothwa bidding on him as well. At the end, it seems to be down to two, or the Mothwa and one other serious bidder, and the other serious bidder puts up 25 gold, at which point they threw up 35. And it seems to be the end of the line, going once, going twice. Sold! Oh, 40. 40 did I hear? They give you... they look at you in disgust. 42, 5 silver, 2 copper.
I'm still 3.
You see them kind of curse to themselves, but censor their language around the young child who sits in their arms, and promptly storm off as he awards you the 14-year-old. Okay, so Icus, you head down into the alleyway, and as you get to the end, you feel a warmth just kind of spread throughout your body as you feel the gentle touch of Cameras rest on your shoulder.
Hello, cameras.
Now is the time, my friend. Fulgrim has done quite well on changing who he is and what he's done. If there was ever a time to free him from Calfei, this is it.
But how? I don't know how.
There is a temple
Where?
in the middle of the Reshnir Desert. It lies in the middle of the sand, surrounded by a beautiful oasis, though The travel will be hard. There is not other water for miles around. Take him there, and you will see something beyond your comprehension.
I understand. Any heads ups for what it might be?
That's a treat I'll leave for you to discover all on your own.
I see.
You feel her touch fade, and the warmth slowly goes away as well. And you lose your feeling of need that brought you deeper into the alleyway.
Can you put the names of those in chat just so I can write them down properly? All right.
Don't you mean slave 1, 2, and 3?
No, the names of the places. Yeah. All right. I finally got a way to actually help him. Jesus. I don't want just. Oh, hush. You're not even here.
Sure. It's good. Hard worker.
Great with woodwork.
Yeah.
So the slave boys, and I believe. All right. So who bought who?
I got the 7-year-old girl. Did I put that in inventory? I'm sure you're putting that in inventory.
Slaves.
Oh, God.
Slaves are property. Please put them down in your inventory.
Oh God!
Well,
Don't
this ain't creepy
say
at
that
all.
for like us.
I have 1 unit of slave.
With that, the auction draws to a close. People start to disperse. The auctioneer begins to break down the stand with a little help from regular patrons. And everyone seems to be in a pretty chipper mood. He is. He doesn't look malnourished. He looks worked, but none of them speak to any of you. They mouth shut, eyes down, hands behind their backs. Very, very trained kind of look to them. They respond directly when you ask them. They respond when you directly ask them a question, but otherwise don't speak. Yes.
I was directed at Icus, but
Oh, sorry.
I'll get the girl something to eat at least. I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah. We need to talk later.
I guess you
today.
you come back to 3 new party members. You feel like Anglesizo might fit right in.
Unglaciso, he's not a slave.
He is a small child, and you guys are apparently hurting them.
Apparently. Would someone care to explain to me why we are now slave owners?
That's a long. It's a long story.
Just because you buy a slave doesn't make you a slave owner.
I'm pretty sure that's exactly what it makes you.
I am quite sure it's exactly what it makes you.
If you keep them as slaves, yes.
Are we freeing them?
That's the intention. We just have to figure out where to free them to.
We can free them to be with us for a while.
Well, I had every intention of trying to get Cortanas to take Totem as a squire, so.
I guess still doesn't look very happy, but he understands. He's gonna kind of. Sorry?
Did you want one? I mean, you look kind of sad. We can go
No!
back tomorrow and get one.
No! If you buy me a slave, I
So you
cannot
got
be
that
held
little kid
responsible for
waiting
my
for him at the
actions.
temple.
He already has his slave.
Oh, good point.
Sorry, what?
You've already got your kid waiting at the temple.
You're the one who started this trend.
Unglaciso is not a slave. I did not buy him. He chose. Not like these ones.
Well, unless they have some useful skills, they're going to have to be taught something useful.
I guess is gonna kind of kneel, like crouch down to be on their level. It's kind of be like, hey guys, hi there. Do you all have any cool tricks of some kind that you can show me?
Jess doesn't look up at all. Totem and Hick look at you in the eyes, and Hick very calmly raises his arms up, and you see forms start to mutate and evolve out of his rib area, and after 30 minutes of what looks like intense pain on his face, he has 2 other arms that are slightly smaller than his regular ones. At which point he lifts his arm up again, they recede back into him.
Huh.
Well, that was different.
That is a thing. That's very impressive. Which one was that?
Hick.
Pick. That's very impressive.
Totem, on the other hand, just looks at you and smiles, and you feel warmth kind of come over your body, like I don't know, like you just took a toke. Like you feel good about life. Universe is in balance, man.
Do you also have the
Okay, I'm
munchies?
gonna take your word. That's what that feels like.
We have a cannabis kid? Did I just hear that right?
Is it really doing? Is it really doing drugs if it's via magic?
Yeah. That is. Wow. That is a thing. Wow. I think this is gonna space out for a second or two. How long does it last?
It's while he's looking at you, and it's you feel like he can control the feeling of I I'm lacking the correct word to describe it. You feel at peace, right? You feel very good and at peace and kind of reassured. And it looks like he holds it. Like it's not something that just lasts, but as soon as he stops looking at you, it fades.
Okay. Um, that's something. I'm gonna go over to Jess now and just talk to her. Say hi. Are you Jess?
Yes.
Jess, do you have any special things that you can do?
She doesn't look up the entire time. She's talking to you, but she replies, "Yes."
Jess, could you show those special things to me?
No,
Why not?
I get in trouble.
Jess,
You won't get
I
this time.
can you tell me what they are?
No,
Why not?
I don't know.
You don't know.
People get mad, but I don't know.
Let's go somewhere else before we do this.
Yeah. Jess,
Yeah, we-
you're gonna come with us now, okay?
Yes.
Okay. Let's get out of here.
So where do you guys go to?
Good question.
Can always go back to the inn.
Yeah, let's not. I don't need cave.
The two Mafwa stormed off towards the city gates.
They're going
Do you
up to
wanna
their
follow them?
retreat with whoever they did get.
Probably. Do you want to follow them, team?
Yeah. But the inn really isn't a good idea. Is there? Yeah.
In the very
Yeah.
wealthy district?
Yes.
You could head up there with your slaves if you wanted.
Are we allowed to have slaves up there?
You don't know. It's the kind of people you saw here.
I mean, if not, we have that other temple that I donated money to. Assuming he hasn't spent it on fucking crackers.
Yep.
I'll take Jess.
She's very careful not to make eye contact with anyone as you load them all up. Um, Hick, as he sees the other getting picked up, firmly stands as if to convey that he doesn't need assistance, but he doesn't say it, so he doesn't say so out loud.
He's a strong, independent man.
And he don't need no dwarf.
Yeah,
Carrying him around.
So you come to the first guard entryway, guard blockade, to get to the next higher district. And they stop you and ask, who are these individuals we haven't seen you with before? Sure you don't mean slave?
We do
You
not
heard what
mean
she
for it.
said.
Not for long.
Look at me. You, bigger one. Where'd they get you? He looks over to Cortanus. Or, Hick looks to Cortanus. You, little girl. Look me in the eye.
Sir, are you questioning our word?
I know what goes on in this district. Scum like you people buy other living people. Disgraceful.
So you're saying that you can't set someone free after buying them?
I'm saying people who buy slaves keep slaves.
A lot of them do, yes. Not all of them.
Which is illegal, thank you.
Then why do you let this happen? I mean, you're a guard here, right?
I follow
Yes.
my orders, I stand at my post. If I see people like you, who I suspect have slaves, I question and stop you.
So you're
So-
just saying you turn a blind eye and don't do shit about it, even though you're just now saying it's illegal.
So
Doesn't sound like
just-
you're doing a good job.
Yeah, you sound like you're doing a outstanding job at ignoring the dignity of other beings.
He just kind of glares at you, but the gate starts to open as the other guards work. And he shoots them all a dirty look and then stands aside.
Keep on doing that great standing there. And I walk by.
Instead of bitching at us, why don't you go do something about it? And I'll walk by.
The last of you is probably Falgrim as he trails behind. You hear him just kind of curse under his breath. Fucking lizard and halfling giving me shit. And if she heard that, which she didn't,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't hear that either.
Fulgrim's gonna not start shit right now, but just barely. Just like just this once. Let that go.
yeah, you guys make it to the wealthy district and the temple. You get a lot of sideways glances from the guards, though the people act like it's whatever. Like this shit happens. You make it up there, and you made I apologize. I cannot remember his accent.
I feel like he had a Brooklyn accent or something.
No, that was Dr. Girlfriend, where what's his name? Angela Smalls stayed at.
I'm
Yes.
less than so. I mean, I don't really remember his accent either. Just make one up.
It's bugging the shit out of me.
If only we had a recording that we could listen to.
I know. If only someone had recorded all of our sessions where I could have done this research beforehand. Ugh. You know, I wish we lived in a world where that technology existed. I know. Oh, what?
The popish dandy.
Whoa! Welcome back! I guess, how can I help you? Do you have more workers for me?
We have these three. We need you to take care of them. And if I hear that you've mistreated them, I will be very unhappy with you.
Mistreated them. What do I look like? Fucking orphanage? I run a church
Seriously.
here.
That's the accent.
Yeah. Yeah, wasn't that the Crackers guy?
Yeah, that was the guy who wanted to buy frickin' crackers. God, what an asshat. Yeah, no, this is the one. This is the one. Sorry, I'm a little bit on edge, friend. We've just freed these ones from the slave market.
Freedom. What'd you do? Outbid the Mothwa?
Yes,
Pretty much.
Oh. How rich are you?
Not very anymore.
Yeah.
Bet. Those Mothwa has some pretty good funds.
Yep. Yes.
So you want me to take care of these little brats?
For now, we've got to go have a chat with the Mothwa.
Brats.
What about your other little runt? Anglo-Sasaso, so.
I'm glad to so.
Yeah, that's
Is
the
he
one.
not back yet?
I sent him to do chores. What do you want to do with him?
Keep him here. I'm meeting him again tonight.
You want him to stay here another night? What do I look like, a babysitter? Some preschool teacher?
You're a priest of Pelor,
Yeah, I give the sermon.
Did
and
he
it's
not
still
earn
your
his
duty
place?
to help people.
Duty schmooty. Cuts into my nighttime relaxing.
Why in the nine hells did you join a church if you didn't want to help people?
I'm wealthy, you son of a bitch.
That again raises the question, why in the nine hells did you join a church if you were wealthy?
No, I wasn't wealthy beforehand. I'm wealthy now.
So is that where all the cracker money goes?
Someone donated
Oh, I'm so
92
sad
bobbleheads the
that
other
it's
day.
As long as they don't send their seed.
Ah.
Well, here's the thing. Nevertheless, we just need for as long as you can stomach it. some shelter for these kids while we figure out what to do with them long term. They can, of course, be of assistance around the temple, keeping the place clean and whatnot, within the scope of their talents, which admittedly isn't much. And yes, we will make a appropriate donation for the services the temple has given.
Good. These ones aren't going to try and burn down my temple like the other one, right?
They will be extremely well behaved.
You hear that? Your master said be well behaved.
We are not their masters.
He's tall for a 14-year-old, but so like 5'5". Whatever you request. Or, sorry, whatever you request. It is my duty. He immediately goes over to the other two and actively starts looking over them, like starts getting them and whatever things you guys gave them, rations or whatever, settled in a way so that you can take care of business and he can take over. Not pushy in any way, just prepared. Did you guys introduce yourselves to them, like your names, or do they just know you as master?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess one of them. Sorry, forgot to mention that part.
Fun. Falcon?
Mm-hmm.
She just kind of reaches out her arms to you.
Yeah.
And
I just kind of stare at her.
she scoots slightly forward and like just close enough to indicate that she wants a hug, just far enough away where she's not touching you without permission.
Oh,
Shit.
hug her, damn it!
Yeah, I'll hug her. Like, badly, though. Like, it's been a while since I've done this.
You feel her just like nuzzle her head against your shoulder, and her little itty bitty hands wrap against like your dwarf arms. She can't make it around all the way.
Mhm.
And her little legs kind of kick up off the floor as she holds on tight with her arms. She lets go and looks up at you. And are you looking down at her?
Yeah, probably.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Whoops.
Uh-oh.
Booyah! Nope.
Nice.
Nice.
Your reality disappears entirely. You go deaf and blind. You can't taste. You reach out, or all around you, you can't feel anything. And inside of your mind, you hear screams of absolute torment and terror. And laughter in the back. It goes on for what feels like endless days at a time until you finally come out of it and you're drenched with sweat and you're more or less just on your butt with your hands propping you up, uh, gasping for air as she looks down again and uh, kind of looks ashamed. Uh, the rest of you, this happened in an instant, but for Fulgrim, it was months at least.
Icus immediately goes over to Jess and just hugs her. And is like, it's going to be okay.
She
It's
is.
okay. Okay.
She's like dry sobbing into your beard.
It's okay. You're not in trouble.
Speechless.
It's okay.
He's literally speechless. He just, and then he kind of gives a suspicious look to her, narrowed eyes.
It's hard to see her through the beard. So, what about your donation? I get it. You're sad to see the kid go. Stop being a pussy willow.
I hear you. I'll stand up.
Give me a
There's
minute.
5 kids now, right?
There's 3 slaves, and Anglesizo is around.
So 4 kids? All right. I'll give them 4 gold.
4 gold? You think 4 gold is adequate?
4 gold, 4 kids. Shouldn't
4.
cost you more than.
I think you should be happy with what you got, friend.
Biggin, go get the kids settled. Downstairs. Turn right, turn right, turn left, turn right. You, friends of the church, thank you so much for your patronage. Please, come back and worship the Lord Pelor at any time.
I can feel the sincerity in your words, my friend. I will absolutely come back and worship anytime I have to.
I can't wait to see you again.
Feeling is mutual.
He goes back to doing his prep duties, though he does. You don't leave. He doesn't let you leave eyesight. Do you stay in the church? Do you leave the church?
They're as safe as they're going to be, so I guess we'll head out.
Yeah. We've gotten the kids settled. Let's go find the Mafia.
Plus, Rogan probably
Sure.
has no love for that kid anymore.
Yeah,
Should
Jesus.
we also tell them it's okay to defend themselves from the Mothwa if they come for some reason and try to abduct them?
Good idea.
It's a shame you didn't tell them before they left. I mean, you could always tell. You could always tell the head of the church.
Or we could just tell
I'll
them
tell them to go
directly.
call the guards if anybody
Go
in a
back,
purple
go back.
coat is in.
If
You are unsure whether they can read or not. You did not give them the basics literacy tests.
The head of the church should be able to read though.
Oh yeah, of course he could. Here is scripture. As you walk outside, and Venring's like, "Oh right, letter." Scribbles down the note like, "Be safe. Use powers. Call guard if shit goes wrong." Gives it to Feather. He flies back into the church, and you hear, "Hey, what do you want, you bird?" Ah! Ah!
Oh, Feather.
So he flies back out, now
I
letterless.
love Feather.
Venric, you know your message to be delivered.
Cool.
What do you all do?
Yeah, let's go follow some Aqua. See if we can find out where they're taking the other kids that they bought.
Where do you try and do this?
So we probably want to go.
Well, we
when
know
there's
that some
more-
of them were heading down to the city gates, right? From the auction. Let's follow them down that way. Because they were also supposed to go on that freaky retreat thing, right?
That is what Anglesiso told you.
Yeah, so...
So you head down to the city gates, and you see a large group of them all packing up a caravan. Maybe 10 paces from the gate itself. It's like at least 15 purple-robed individuals with 5 or 6 raggedy-looking kids. After watching for a few minutes, you see one of them coming around, and he's got the 4-year-old on his shoulders, and he's jumping up and down and playing with them. All the kids look really, really excited to be going with them.
Of course, they're getting them out of the shithole. God, what a mess. You're learning!
We're not going to be able to. I have a feeling we're not going to be able to talk our way through this.
No.
Sure, we can't just go up and be like, "Hey, we want to join."
That's the only other option.
Yep. That would get us right to where the Mafwa are.
That assumes they believe us.
Sorry?
That is,
Sure, some of us do.
Hey, don't
God.
sell yourself short. There's also Feather.
You've got something going on with you, though. I don't know quite what, but there's something special about you.
You just do you.
Yeah. We don't know that you're from the past, right? Yeah.
I would say it's up to you if you wanted to explain if they asked.
probably not now.
All right. So, do we want to go hop on the caravan and just get a ride there, or do we want to try to actually trail them and have to walk? Because I'm all in for the free ride.
I mean, the problem is that if we free ride, we leave. Actually, if we leave it all at this point, we leave the kids kind of stranded at the church.
Also, I think if I remember, we were told we probably shouldn't leave the city.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that too.
Oh, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, we'd send Feather to follow them.
Is that your plan of action? Stay in the city, send Feather?
Yeah,
Yes.
let's do that.
I don't really have another option, I guess.
And that is where we end the session tonight.
Okay.
Hoop hoop hooray! That was a lot of fun for me in particular. Stuff developed, which I've been excited for like this entire time. So
And your NPC got away. Grr.
I learned the difference between brazier and damn it, I forgot the other pronunciation.
Frazier?
Brazier. That's it.
One's a lot of hot fun. The other's a lot of fun.
Ha.
There we go.
So
I've been holding that one since y'all talked about it, and I was in the car.
you were just hoping it got brought back up.
Yes.
Well then you're welcome. So, nomination, I guess. Who is it this week?
Feather.
I kind of do want to give it to Feather just for this. I don't know, man. I'm gonna hit Fulgrim with it. Fulgrim, Jammer, for the lovely times that we had with Calfe.
Thank you much.
Yeah, Fulgrim made a huge sacrifice this session.
We just don't know what it is yet.
Exactly.
Okay.
No idea how bad it is, but could be bad.
It's
Yeah.
definitely not fun.
No.
Yeah, good thing Hammer showed up, eh?
But if we want to do... Right. Thank you.
Mhm. So, guys, remember, if you've been nominated, you have special inspiration that you can use at any time. Say when you drastically fail your wisdom saving throw and get thrown into the horror reality of a 7-year-old girl.
Here's the thing. Even if I had, and it had into an advantage, I would have had a 10, and we still failed. So I'm like, I kind of let that happen.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right.
I was actually so sure that you were going to pass that. All right, so moving on. Feedback and reflection this session, last sessions, whatever.
Pretty much.
Yeah, we actually do. Seriously, is anybody in favor of using our plot of land as like an orphanage? Because we have 4 kids trailing us at this point.
Well, our plot of land is in the middle of the pales, right?
True.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Maybe we
haven't
should have
seen
taken
it
the one
yet.
in Orphan.
Whereas I think, well, I guess it's, I mean, we don't have like the cash or the desire to hang around long enough to get an orphanage up and running,
Yeah.
really. Because we'd have to be here for like 6 months to a year just to get the precedent going. That's the issue. Plus, it would swell really, really fast because there are a lot of orphans and no one else taking care of them.
Oh my god!
Do the older ones graduate to the upper floor?
Oh my god!
Best idea I've ever heard.
Oh god!
Yeah, that would either have to be a very dark campaign or a very silly one. Possibly both. Possibly both. No. The other creative thing to do is you get on a ship and you make them all pirates.
Legitimately the greatest idea I've ever heard. Anyone else? How'd you like interaction with the Emir? How'd you like how the region handled it? Man, words.
They were both good. The Amir scene was good.
Yeah, he was crazy. Jesus Christ.
Yes, he was.
I can imagine the overacting though. It was good.
Maybe.
Ain't nobody searched that body.
Damn, that was a good idea.
As far as I guess specifically Fulgrim, your interactions with Calfei, did they feel I don't know, too persistent? Did they feel off to you as how you imagine your packed fiend?
It's working pretty well because of the nature of the pact in question. So, yeah, no, it's very, very close to how I envisioned it. So,
Good, glad. I guess Cameras, deity, all that going well for you.
Yeah, I mean, Ica still has little bits of trust issues with cameras, but yeah, working out well.
Awesome. I said especially have trouble ignoring my trouble with words. Cause
You do fine, don't worry.
I have trouble with like deities and stuff just because I have so much trouble role playing things that have like 30 intelligence score.
Yeah, that's fair. No. Cameras is being mysterious and vague in all the right ways, and it's good.
Awesome. So, any other feedback before we exit for the night?
I'm just a sad panda. I haven't gotten to throw a fireball yet, but I figured that'll be remedied soon enough.
yeah, say. Not gonna go against these motherfuckers for much longer without getting into a fight of some kind.
Yeah, I mean, given how pissed they were at the auction, I imagine it'll be sooner.
Even if we volunteer. Yeah. But still, it's stabbing time, I think, soon. So.
Soon. Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, I have no extra feedback.
Okay. Well, thank you all. I had a lot of fun. I will see you all next Monday at 7. Have a great week.
All right. Likewise.
Have a good one.